Choke, no joke, you know what it is. Let's go, let's go. I inspire y'all to all want more. Don't listen to these fakes and these frauds. They don't own cars with Lamborghini doors. When hype show cut, it's back to the store. I was born in the Jackson, this shit was hell. The place where I saw soldiers fall. Some simply for nothing at all. Some cause they lived on the other side of the wall. Now this might sound crazy, love what the hood made me. Poverty made me far from lazy. This ain't the place you wanna raise your babies. Young girls out here thinking they lazy. Snow's powdered white, their brain all hazy. Ask them what they wanna be, they look at you crazy. These young cats out here looking all angry. I was just like them, sometimes the music made me act other than myself, no influence lately. Cause behind the scenes they not living greatly. And I found out that most of these cats never so jack or the penitentiary. Let's go. I inspire y'all to all want more. Don't listen to the face and the frauds. They don't own cars and Lamborghini doors. The hype yo cut is back in the store. I inspire y'all to all want more. Don't listen to the face and the frauds. They don't own cars and Lamborghini doors. The hype yo cut is back in the store. They not selling drugs, they really not thugs. If they was, where are the slugs? Do you see them when you cop your drugs? Pulling up with S.to.B in the front? Nah, it's not what they got, it's what they want. In the jungle, we all on the hunt. It's chemical. It's chemical beats. You know what it is. Stadiel. Don't follow those cats. Choke, no choke. You already know. Let's go out the gray go. Now I'm out the game. Feel good not pitching in the hood. And I really don't think I could go back to selling crack and stashing them packs in my ass. I maintain weekly money the same. And nah, I don't go through them games. Niggas testing my brain with them triple beams filled with change. Pot crack, grams in the drain. Getting hit with the fake exchange. Like baking soda flour. After being on Broadway for hours. Getting knocked, being back at start. Niggas testing if I got heart. Pushing me to pop some shots. Just stop the ball before the start. Old lady with the binocs. Give description to cops. Why they try to tear us apart with that good cop, bad cop. I ain't going for the game, he ain't tell you a thing. Your partners with them saying the same. You can tighten them cuffs till you see veins. Stop fucking yanking them down. They might fuck you if you ain't sane. And nigga never sniff cocaine. And I don't care what game or part of the area you claim. Brave Scarface, you must be insane. Nigga, Tony fucked the boy's dame. His right hand man, he's slain to get his back blown out the game. Do it on the low, let nobody know. No pillow talk to home. And if he step on your toes, don't bust a blame. Cause everybody will know. Or get out the game. They say that change is good. It's a lot of stress in the hood. And I know if you could, you would. Get out the game, but you stuck in that time. Where the nigga in public like shine. For a witness to drop a dime. For self-defense, do or die. Celebs doing time. Mike Vick on the child line. Even Kobe, Jason Williams, Gage, kick like Shinobi. Little Kim for perjury. You know you done fucked up, right? You know you done fucked up, right? Let's go. When it's late night, make sure it's packed tight. And when you take those flights, never eye the Jake in sight. And shake them fuckers when they dead to right. Making the fifth go rumble. Because of stick of trouble. Blasting your gap for a cat, for in fact, for some crap that don't involve you. For some dudes that don't love you, all they wanna do is pawn you until you go down. And don't do shit for you when you lock down. Or when you touch down. But they tell you to go to the pound. The same block that gave you a pound. Years in the pen, now you living again. What mind state are you in? When you back it for 10, and you was just waiting for a teen to come home to relive it again. Entrapment should be a sin. The way they reel us in, roll us to a revolving door to bring us in. This shit is insane. The game is insane. The game will fuck with your brain. That's why I'm out the game. Yeah. Just get out the game, man. I know they told y'all there's only 2 ways out. Jail and death. Nah, just get out, nigga. Just get out, man. It's easy. Just walk away, nigga. If they care about you, they'll let you go. If you in the game and you wanna go and get a better life, and they won't let you walk away, what do that say? Get out the game, nigga. You wanna sleep easy, nigga? Look at these rap niggas, nigga. You wanna be the next rapper? Trapper, clapper, federal indictment rapper, huh? I keep telling y'all niggas, man, get out the game, man. Joke no joke. Grego, you already know. The beast is chemical, baby. That's why I'm out the game. Stay the hell. Don't follow those cats. The niggas that be on the gram. Tell them, boy, what they doing. Choke, no joke. You know what it is. Yo, y'all niggas better stay DL. Down low. Stop flossing, man. You just want them to just come and get you? Learn from our mistakes, man. That's what this is about. Learn from mistakes. Choke, no joke. Let's go. You already know. Make it low, let's go. My aim was enlightened, drop jewels on you. You thinking I'm jealous, I ain't got cheddar like you. I'm the dude to a game, you got school. Was a local cat, snatch you when I made moves. I'm paranoid and preaching, you was sleeping. Knew you was sneak thief and couldn't see us beefing. Learn from mistake, don't show I got cake. Impress a nigga to rob me, bitch seal my fate. Get knocked by the feds, lay up for about 8. Ass so busy flossing, ain't thinking about Jake. Loose, yapping, they wiretapping, videotaping, your ways in action. Front like time's hard, 2-door garage, ice like Liberage, with no damn jaw, without a reasonable doubt. You think you Jay-Z with your platinum jewelry, he got a job, B. You shining on doctors with 4 degrees, laughing cause I'm broke on the streets. Stay DL, BDL and Sal. You ain't DL when your name ring bells. Stay DL, BDL and Sal. You ain't DL when your name ring bells. Stay DL, BDL and Sal. You ain't DL when your name ring bells. Shh, let's go. For beef, we not dolo. For cash, you go solo. Thought I was your man, shot me down like Manolo. Thought I was your partner when you played me was whack. No niggas dust that I wouldn't flip like that. What gives? See your man struggle while you live? That's some shit. Struggling, give you the kicks. Used to stick for gooses. Warm when we pump deuces. Break night in the jacks, trying to see millions like Brewster. You don't act like you used to. I'm the dude. When niggas was friends, you like, yo, Joe, go through. I wet you like McLean for those who claim to be pain. The game of death, that's what you get with got game. Ill with automatics, we're never static. You carry that niggas, put one in your cabbage. Fear, don't have it, you fill me with laughter. In OGSC, then I'm original gun clapper. Like Dan get dapper, see a mill be Casper. They trade the doctor, the math from after. Stay DL, BDL and Sal. You ain't DL when your name ring bells. Stay DL, BDL and Sal. You ain't DL when your name ring bells. Stay DL, BDL and Sal. You ain't DL when your name ring bells. Yeah, legal hustle, mega. You know what it is. It's choke, no joke about killing heat. Left my boo with my dudes when I saw the heat. Was gone in 30 seconds, more like 23. Took flight like Mike, number 23. Before the indictment came, I split like Jada, didn't get wet like Kane. Got out the game. I went from the tunnel, now movie making. So it ain't no confusing why you dudes be hating. Yeah, choke no joke.
KK on
New life. They said I'd be dead or in jail. They was half right, I saw right can sell. I knew I wasn't rich when I couldn't make bail. I made out good, 5 niggas that didn't tell. Hold up, don't go to trial when caught up. Roll the dice, watch the numbers just go up. When your offer was short as a pup's nuts, you got the whammy, cause you pressed your luck. You could've been back on the town, industry bound, no more busting it down. To quarters, half O's, having to catch the flow, and reassuring those who act like they don't know that the ratchet let go. If you think we won't fill them hollow points up with mercury, send them to another planet, leave them screaming like Mike and Janet. Niggas can't stand it. I felt champagne with Ross running the game. When I was locked and the CEO jumped in my face, talking gangster, nigga. Like I'm not fucking gangster, nigga. But you got it in here, cause the odds ain't fair. Cause you got that walkie and that button right there. But after 8 hours, you leave here. And that's when you friend, it's not fair. You shoot at the range, we shoot when in range. Roll up in that range, your face look real strange. The look on my face is I got that aim. Before you reach, you feel the pain. Blood stain, calculate to your brain. You been licked by that thing. In the game of death, that's what you get when got game. It's a method to the madness, how I bring the pain of one that's not sane. Choke no joke, I do my thing. Can't hang. They say you're nobody until they kill you. I'm somebody alive, guess that make me an ill dude. Made my name before the funeral, considered a legend and still make moves. They know you when you gone, they know me when I'm on. All over the board, you restricted, you pawn. You wouldn't cut a lawn, blow a candle at dawn. Joe got it going on like fuel. Some of you fools is more ass than mule. Never rule like Rick with Mona Lisa in your crib. Haters mad cause I'm doing what they wish they did. Without the rock, it's still gunning like Chris. Nigga try to block, I time off this shit. Nigga looking down at me, now he looking at dick. Pause, just determined shit. It's choke, no joke. Nigga, I'm lit. Check it out. Choke no joke. Learn from mistakes. DJ S&S the great. It ain't no telling you be a first time felon. No telling when you be a first time felon. It ain't no telling you be a first time felon. No telling when you be a first time felon. Best day of my life, no sleep all night. Broke day for weeks, my cash was right. My capo tight, take our loot, unite. 23-hour shifts, had to see loot like Mike. Cash, lovely, yeah, Dougie. How could this day get so ugly? Wifey bout to pop, like some bubbly. Yo, doodles now most, don't really bug me. Felt like a star, cop first car. Get up with the guard, what it is, baby paw. He about to cop a van, get up with our mans. Before we reached our low spot, toes blam. Unaware what happened, discussing and clapping. It wasn't loud, ain't shit gon' happen. Me being stupid, instead of getting they moving, this nigga kept chefing like the woo one. Then we heard a knock, no one knew of this spot. 6 niggas in the spot, 6 niggas not. Ain't no telling you be a first time felon. No telling when you be a first time felon. It ain't no telling you be a first time felon. No telling when you be a first time felon. It ain't no telling you be a first time felon. No telling when you be a first time felon. I'm in the precinct all damn even. This good cop, bad cop shit got me steaming. No, I was caught, I ain't give a fuck. Had jokes like the usual suspects line up. Moved times up, came back fuck. crank of the cuffs. Niggas was so deep they had to call on the bus. Everybody that checks outside waiting on us like ghetto celebs. Ourselves ain't plush. 5 in the book and gave a whooping. He never forget. They gotta be split. Up in the courtroom, they cause it ruckus. Everybody that checks waiting on us. Try to bail us out, that thought got thrown out. Bill one so high, I couldn't bear half a nigga out. Copped out, that's what first fell in the bow. Back on the bus, Rikers the row. Wifey in the courtroom crying out. We love y'all with tears running in their mouth. It ain't no telling you be a first time felon. No telling when you be a first time felon. It ain't no telling you be a first time felon. No telling when you be a first time felon. Choke no joke. Yeah. You know what choke no joke. You know what it is. Let's go, let's go. 2020, rich niggas, money funny. We got killer bees and I lost my honey. My little sex master, yeah, she was a distraction to my mathematics. Then Corona happened. The government capping on what's really happening. Rock Nation signing niggas that's out here ratting. And Jay's the captain of the ship? Ain't this a bitch? You keep his sign and snitch. We lost Andre and Rich. Life's a bitch. Can't have a funeral no matter if you rich or poor. Overpopulated at morgues, funeral homes, bodies all on the floor. No food in stores, no me no more. These the last days if you never prayed. Have faith or saw the illest of days. Yo, it's tough. When you see Puff rock a hoodie with his baby mama hanging from a cross, you lost. Damn, you told the CEO on the gram he was a handsome man. That's sexual harassment in front of millions of fans. You made Fab wanna scram like Sunday Letitia. Joseph don't leave, Mary and Jesus. Sags, self-pleasing, some sneak thievers. If we were kids, you call them flat leavers. They use you, don't need you. It's birth you, then see ya. Cross you, then be ya. Curve you and flee ya. Niggas wanna be you until they see you. They idolize you like you in the case. Nigga, you know who got punched in the face. In the A on stage or any place. A nigga like me never retire like Mace. And don't even care if the church is the escape. Last real nigga alive amongst your face. Y'all big mad, no frosting on my face. You can't come out, Epstein flight log is out. And tell us what that spirit cooking about. Head to head with a satanist and niggas in doubt. The power of the dark side block me out. That's why I'm black and get it in any sport trick. That's why you the non-factor. 6ix9ine keep acting like you ain't acting. You wasn't flagging in the court yapping. That tough guy on the gram was just blabbing. Nigga, you capping. I'm the king of New York. At y'all niggas, I'm laughing. Magic Plaza. Magic Plaza. It's the king of New York. Choke no joke. We here now. You know what it is. Eden Wall, stand up. Let's go, choke no joke. I'm in the building. I'm here now. Photographs right now. I got something to handle right here. No disrespect.
Beat on the drums.
Choke no joke on the mic. Life with success. Is this what it is? Let's go. Life with success. Is this what it is? Paparazzi running around flashing your kids, trying to catch them with a gun or a cig, hoping that they fall in some type of addiction. Baby mama hitting you with numbers like addition. She's so high, it feel like she pimping. It's alright, bitch. Yeah, I'm tripping, but it's better than the fucking max I'm spitting. You can have every time before you see this Jimmy again. If life was a movie, you be going in the wind. And this flow ain't conceptualized on gin and tonic. But how ironic, you filed once a nigga went and got it poppin'. I guess that's why you pushed up when I was Milano hopping. Out at high school, fresh with jewels, looking successful as I do. I made you a star in the hood, kept you in leathers and bamboos. Fresh footwear, girl, I kept you good. Every color to match, your butter sauce, moved you to edge comb. From the concourse, left mom house living better off. Now you write that shit all off. Like taxes, make me wanna remove your parts with chainsaw and axes. I need to roll up and get back to relaxing. Is this what it is? Life with success, huh? Is this what it is? Chicks you took care of, motherfuckers you looked out for. Everybody turn on you back, they motherfucking hand out. Is this what it is?
Life with success, sometimes it sucks. When people want something's when they call up.
Yeah.
People wanna hang, cause you got a new truck.
Let's go.
Now you hang with chicks that you dreamed you fuck.
Haters want you stuck, chicks trying to get knocked up. Cake in the oven and eat your cake up. Chick, get your own and raise our stakes up. The more you get, yo, the shit get iller. So I might go from the glove one and turn to thriller. Saw dealers get extorted by Popo when they needed a filler. And the shit get realer. They wanna clap back but sit back and be a griller. Or be on a manhunt like Larry Davis. That's on the realer. Success have a lot of dudes on painkillers or puffing that fuzzy like caterpillars. It ain't easy to deal with. Life is success, huh? Is this what it is? Life with success. Is this what it is? Thank you.
Choke, no joke, chicky choke, no joke. Choke, no joke, chicky choke, no joke. You know what it is. You know what it is. Good evening, boys and girls, young women, young men, middle age, and old heads. Welcome to Truth Be Told all day, every day, even on your birthday. Happy birthday to anybody out there if it's your birthday today. Make sure y'all follow me on my new IG, my new Instagram. It is Choke No Joke Official. If you are new here, someone sent you here, please subscribe at this time before you forget. This is when we take a moment of silence for you to subscribe to the channel. Cheers to all the newcomers. Now, y'all follow me on Instagram. You follow me, I'll follow you back with my phone at. I'm going to follow back the first 50 people. If you got an interesting page. If you don't got an interesting page, I'm not following you. So, shout out to my moderator, his squad. Silk Team, Bigger BX. Said Fred, Dipset Forever. No Nonsense. Who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. Don't blame my heart, blame my mind. I got a ill squad. D Haven, what up? Ironically, this nigga D Haven's in here. Yes. I was gonna start this show off with I'll do my shout outs later on, but I appreciate y'all all tapping in. Let me get my phone. So shout out to Nina. What up, Nina Love? My Patreon gang in here. My Twitter gang in here. LinkedIn gang. Of course, IG gang. And of course, my number one favorite, my YouTube gang. We all in the building. So today I'm going to continue on with Azriel's testimony, or Jane, whoever, in the transcripts. Where I left off at was, her saying that R. Kelly's road manager or former manager named Mace gave the Clarys bricks. Gave the Clarys bricks, and when the prosecution asked her bricks, what are bricks, and she was like, narcotics. That's where we stopped at. I'm gonna continue on from that point, but that blew my mind. I'm sorry I stopped. I know a lot of y'all was like, no, Joe, keep going. No, I'm sorry, y'all. When that happened, I was like, gotta go. Small world. I mean, I would hope that is perjury. I would hope that is a straight line. Can you imagine? Somebody giving they child up for cocaine, man? In the crack era, I could have seen some shit like that happening. Now, when people in their right sound and mind, that shit broke my heart, y'all. I'm sorry. I had to stop for a minute. I really did. I'm sorry. Cocaine? Wow. That hurt it. That hurt it. For me, that hurt it. I couldn't even, like, my brain just couldn't even work no more after that. Let me stop thinking about that for a minute. I'll be stuck here on the treadmill thinking about a person would take some bricks for their goddamn kid. But then when I think of Azriel breaking down, saying who would sell their kids, and that could be in relation to that. So I'm drinking too, y'all. I'm gonna make this one a little easier for myself. So bear with me. I got me a little drink for this one, because I got a lot of information to give y'all. And whoo, I wouldn't even want to be in this situation. Like, and just researching it is mind blowing. Like, it's mind blowing. But before I get into that, let me say this to y'all out there. So all y'all cowards out there who can't speak your own mind and don't have nuts or cojones or tatas, because I don't know if it's male, female, who it is. All y'all that's been trying to reach out to me lately, sending me all this stuff about Jay-Z. I told y'all I ain't got no beef with Jay-Z no more. You know what I'm saying? No, I didn't sell out. No, I'm not. in bed with this nigga or nothing. Y'all niggas fight your own battles. Don't sit here and sit me. I don't know if it's some plot to get Jay-Z now, or whatever, but y'all can stop sending me shit. I'm not taking parts in it. I fight my own goddamn fucking battles. All right? I fight my own battles. I'm not fighting y'all battles. I told y'all months ago that shit with me and Jay-Z's dead. So y'all niggas that's reaching out, trying to get me to jump on some bandwagon and start talking about this nigga, wrong nigga. Sorry. The enemy of my enemy is no longer the enemy of my enemy and my friend. I don't even play that shit. I worry about me. So good luck to y'all. But I don't. When I tell you I ain't got a problem with nobody, I ain't got a problem with nobody. I'm a man of my word. Now, if anything they do to me makes me go back on that, then they do that. But I don't know this collective effort. I don't know where it's coming from. Where y'all niggas want me to kick this nigga back in. Wrong. Nope. Won't use me no more. Y'all niggas better come from behind the counters, you punk ass niggas. You want jigger, you get them yourself, nigga. Choke ain't doing it. Sorry, no. No. Fuck, I look like, come on, man. Y'all go holler at them hoe ass niggas and y'all tell them to go ahead and talk about Jay and try to kick his back. And sorry, no. I do it for me when it needs to be done. I'm not doing it for y'all niggas. Y'all pussy ass niggas come from behind the fucking curtain, talking into that mic, making your voice sound deep like the fucking Wizard of Oz, nigga. You little fucking midget. You scared, nigga? You're fucking scared, nigga? Get out here yourself and get the Jigger Man yourself, nigga. Choke ain't participating in that shit, nigga. Stop sending me shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't even want to curse. I don't want to give a feed out. Told you my problem with the nigga is over. I let it go. Y'all niggas don't y'all see what the fuck we talking about with this R. Kelly shit? How motherfuckers set people up to try to make him do my. I'm not no parts of it. Y'all niggas want to make him the next person. Y'all go ahead. Stop sending me shit. That's the same shit this R. Kelly shit is about. So any of y'all motherfuckers that got a personal gripe with him, step to that nigga by your lonely, like I did. Publicly, privately, wherever the fuck. But don't be trying to use me no more, niggas. I'm hip to y'all niggas game. No, you're not gonna Jedi mind trick me into taking this nigga down. No, niggas, no. So, moving on. Now, let's go back for a minute to Azriel's first encounter with R. Kelly. How many of y'all y'all all remember the story, right? The Funk Fest, the Black Panties tour. She got pulled on the stage. According to my interview, Angelo said he wasn't standing next to them when they She got called up on the stage. She went up there and twerked. Somebody gave her a number. That's how they said it happened, right? Let's focus on the legal aspect of this, right? Now, shout out to Judge Ann Donnelly. Shout out to you, sister. We not harassing you, sister. I see people, don't be harassing no judge. We're not harassing you, sister. We are the intelligent ones. Even though we black, we are the intelligent ones, and we know how to talk to you peacefully, calmly, and just show you the facts, sis. All right? And I can call you sis because we not in the courtroom. We just want you to see the inconsistencies and the stories that didn't come out in the courtroom. And a lot of it probably didn't come out in the courtroom because you didn't allow the parents to be subpoenaed in court for the trial, which a person like me don't understand how you don't allow the parents to be admitted into the court as witnesses when you're talking about underage kids, children, people, adults, whatever they are. That's kind of like having R. Kelly fight with his hands tied behind his back. If you accusing him of being with underage people, but don't allow the defense to call the parents to show you that he had, because he was giving consent for her to be around him. But this is the long version, Judge. You know, Your Honorable, Your Honor. This is the long version of it. At some point, we will all collectively come together and give you little snippets so you can take and watch in 2 minutes, and what I'll talk about for about 20 minutes, I'll try to condense it into 2 minutes. But for the world to see how injustice was, it's going to take a little bit longer than 2 minutes, sister. So let's start off with the very beginning, y'all, right? When I asked Angelo why was she at the concert if she wasn't an R. Kelly fan, because he said she didn't like his music. He said she had no choice to go because we were going. But technically, even though the parents was there, this wasn't an event for minors. This is 18 and over event, regardless, right? What you have right here is the Funk Fest ticket information, right? Ticket and proof of age required. In order to enter into the event, you must have your own valid ticket. One ticket is required per attendee and will only be valid on the days of the event, areas of the event, as indicated on the ticket. Your ticket is redeemable for cash. There will be no replacement for tickets that are lost, stolen, destroyed, damaged, and you unconditionally accept the risk of damage to loss and or theft of your ticket. To ensure your ticket is valid, purchase your tickets from company or its authorized agents. Tickets from unauthorized sales channels, example, scalpers may be forged, and no evil will be forged tickets be honored or eligible for a refund. You must submit your ticket for validation upon entry into the event. The event is intended for mature audiences only. In order to enter an area where alcohol is being served, that is specifically designated as a 21 and over area or any other area that is designated by company in its sole discretion as a 21 and over area, you must be at least 21 years of age or older. To enter anyone 21 plus or 21 plus area at the event and or to consume alcohol be served. Purchase or possess alcohol anywhere at the event. You must have one of the forms of approved identification listed below, demonstrated proof of age, enter that 21 and older area and or to consume, be served, purchase, or possess alcohol. No exceptions will be made for entry into such designated 21 and over area, even if you are accompanied by an adult or a person with valid identification. Failure to provide valid identification shall preclude you from entering. So, 21 and over to drink. But the concert said for mature audiences only, which we know is 18 and over. Why was she in there? Why was she in there? She was in there with her parents, but technically, she supposed to show ID to see that she's 18 and over to get into the concert, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is this is the Black Panties Tour. The Black Panties Tour, right? I think y'all want to take this time to go ahead and share the link to your friends and family and people you know that has interest in this case. I'm gonna give y'all about 2-3 minutes show because I'm about to show y'all some shit that I don't know if it's been, I'm sure it's been told before, but for the new people like me that just got on this, I'm about to show you. Y'all go ahead and take 2 minutes and share this video. Like right now, subscribe, please. 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 Please like, subscribe, share this video right now because what y'all about to see, if you haven't seen it before, is going to really blow your head off. Hold on. I need some. So we already know that she legally, technically, she wasn't supposed to be in it. So for her, R. Kelly to call up on the stage, he already knows the 18 and over event. So, and he didn't call her on the stage. The homies picked her out the crowd, right? You take your daughter to an event for mature only audiences only. If she was mature enough by your standards as the parents, fine. I'll give you that. As you can see, she couldn't even walk into a section where you could go get a drink. So you know it's an adult event. R. Kelly, SWV. SWV. They not singing Justin Bieber, B2K type songs. They singing let's fuck. Right? I don't know if it makes sense to anybody, but I guess at 17, you know, some of us was grown enough to go to R. Kelly concert. But if your problem is your daughter was a minor and you upset with that, why is she there for one to hear that type of content of music? And why are you allowing her to go on stage with grown men? Let me tell you something. Copyright disclaimer under section of 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or purpose use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Let me see you. Let me. Small ass pretty girl. Small little girl. Let's start down here. You small little baby. Can you tell what I'm talking to? Yes, you can squeeze me something. Small little girls. Turn around, baby. Baby girl, that's gonna be a medium. I'll be right back. I got you. I got you. Small booties. Small booties. Small booties. Turn around, baby. Turn around. Small booties. Is he on small booties? That's on small booties. Small booty, right? There you go. There you go. Okay, let's go for me.
Okay, so that's when your girl, small booty, got her panties. Now what? Well, what mother? Because Angelo said he wasn't there when she got picked. What parent is letting R. Kelly, freaky butt, get a daughter panties? You letting a grown ass man give your little girl panties? Can somebody explain this to me? This is R. Kelly on stage giving out panties. Come on, my niggas. Come on, my niggas. Talk to me, y'all. Talk to me. Come on, talk to me, y'all.
Let me see you. Small ass pretty girl. Small little girl. Let's start down here. You small little baby. turn around so I can confirm the movie? I guess you can squeeze me something. Small booty girls. Turn around, baby. Baby girl, that's gonna be a medium. I'll be right back. I got you. I got you. Small booties. Small booties. Small booties. Turn around, baby. Turn around. Small booties. Is it called small booties in that? Let's go more small booties. Small booties, right here. There you go. There you go. Okay, let's go for me. Let me see you.
For the people in the back.
Small ass booty girls. Small booty girls. Let's start down here. Small booty baby. Can you tell us how to confirm the movie? Yes, you can squeeze me something. Small booty girls. Turn around, baby. Baby girl, that's gonna be a medium. I'll be right back. I got you. I got you. Small booties. Small booties. Small booties. Turn around, baby. Turn around. Small booties. Is it called small booties in that? That's almost small booties. Small booties, right here. There you go. There you go. There we go.
I'm just saying. This is R. Kelly on stage. Giving out panties from Victoria's Secrets. And you gonna let this man give your baby some panties? Talking about turn around, baby. It's an 18 and over event. He has every right to do what he's doing. He has every right to do what he's doing. That's on the venue that girl got in there. He on stage, you fuck, he supposed to be like, yo, let me check your ID and make sure that the security checked you to make sure that you was 18 before I give you these panties. Come on, man. What is the defense doing, man? What is the defense doing? You mean to tell me this girl is at an event? I'll show you the ticket. Let me pull it back up. You see it right there. The red line right here. This event is intended for mature audiences only. In order to enter in the area where alcohol is being served, that is specifically designated as the 21 and over area. So R. Kelly being on the stage, giving out panties, he already know this is, it's the Black Panties tour. You think they got kids coming in that? Now, some of y'all gonna say, "Oh, Cho, how you know he gave her panties?" We couldn't see that was her. He only gave out small panties in that video, right? So how you know that was her? Because she tweeted it. She tweeted it. What do you see there? I got some small black panties at Orlando last night. R. Kelly gave me some small black panties last night. And look, she's tagging R. Kelly for him to see it. Now, some of y'all might say, oh, that she ain't flirting. She just let him know that she got the black panties. But he gave you the black panties. That means he was attracted to you. Only the bad motherfucking bitches get the black panties, goddammit. In his eyes. Especially if he's telling you to spin around and letting them see that culo. But you tweeted it. You tweeted it. I got some small black panties. Now, who falls it that he gave them to you underage? The venue let you in there. Your parents came and brought you in there, and they allowed you to get it, and then you got on the stage. Right? Then you go and tweet about it. Look at the date, y'all. Look at the date. Now, do y'all know who Scooter Braun is? Was that the manager? Oh. December 30th, she was 18. Y'all see this, right?
Let me see you. Let me. Small ass big girl. Small little girl. Let's start down here. Small little baby. Can you start right talking to me? Yeah, shoot the squeeze on this. Small little girls. Tell them, baby. Baby girl, that's gonna be a meeting. I'll be right back. I got you. Small booties. Small booties. Small booties. Is it no small booties in that? There's no more small booties. Small booties right here. There you go.
Mm-hmm. So what does that mean? Was she flirting with him? Or she was trying to get him to manage her? Is Prima Donna in here? I keep hearing that name. If Prima Donna's in here, I'll put the link in there for her to come on. One more time.
Let me see you. Let me. Small ass little girl. Small little girl. Let's start down here. Small little baby. Can you tell us how to confirm the movie? Yes, you can squeeze in your side. Small little girls. Turn around, baby. Baby girl, that's gonna be a video. I'll be right back. I got you. Small booties. Small booties. Small booties. Turn around, baby. Turn around. Small booties. Is it no small booties in it? There's no more small booties. Small booties, right? There you go. There you go. Okay, let's go for me. Leave.
So what I'm gonna do is get back to the transcripts. We're gonna continue reading these transcripts. So after we had I'm just going to recap where I left off at. When you said the defendant said that your parents had sold you to him, what did he say about that? How did he explain that? He had confided in me that the previous manager, under the name of Mace, had given my parents a few bricks and in return for me. And when you say bricks, what are you referring to? Narcotics. And who provided you this information? the defendant. Do you remember approximately when the defendant said that to you? This was years later, around the time when a majority of the things had come out about the cults and multiple women. Fair to say that was several years after you had been staying with the defendant? Yes. I'm showing the witness only was been marked for identification as Government Exhibit 68. Do you recognize the individual shown in the Government Exhibit 68? I do. Yes. Who is that? This is nephew. And when did you first meet nephew? Or did you meet nephew? Yes, I did. When did you first meet him? I don't recall initially when I first met him. Who introduced you to nephew? The defendant. The government offers Government Exhibit 68. Any objection? No objection from Mr. Koenig. Court. Okay, that's an evidence. Government Exhibit 68 so marked. May I publish? Yes. Publish. May I proceed? Now you said that you knew this individual shown in Government Exhibit 68 as nephew, who referred to this person as nephew, the defendant. Without saying it, do you know this individual real name, or is that real name nephew? No, that's just what the defendant called him. Do you know this individual's true name? I do not. No. And any other nephew, do you know any other names for him? No, that's the only name the defendant will call him. Do you remember what led to you meet the defendant introducing you to the nephew? He had been expressing someone that he wanted to meet under the name nephew. However, the first time that I do recall being with him was a punishment. Before you describe what punishment is, do you remember what led to the punishment? Yes, I've been pairing off, which was one of his rules that I had broken. And when you say pairing off, what do you mean by that? Meaning that me, even though me and the other girls all live together and spend the majority of our time together, there were specific things that even we cannot talk about together. Like, unless it was things like he would consider innocent, like hair, nails, TV shows. If there was anything outside of that, we would get in trouble for discussing it. So, for example, what would be a type of thing that you understood you were not supposed to discuss with the other women living with the defendant? Anything about my family, anything about my previous life before I had met him, or anything that I was doing beforehand, and also like our personal relationship. And when you say our personal relationship, whose relationship are you referring to? Me and the defendant. So you said that you had been pairing off. How did the defendant learn? Had you, in fact, been pairing off to use your word? Yes. And how did the defendant learn about that? Because I had told him. What led you to tell the defendant about that? I recall that we were at a hotel and he was with his assistant, Diana. And he had been boasting to her and, telling her how happy I made him. And I felt very guilty knowing that I had paired off prior to him coming, telling me to come down to the pool. And you said to come down to the pool. Where were you? We were at a hotel. And were you in the pool area of the hotel? Yes. He was sitting like at a cabana. And who else was with him? Diana. What happened when you went down to the pool area? He had told, he had expressed to Diana like his affection for me and how he basically wanted to spend the rest of his life with me. What did you do? I was happy, but I felt guilty inside. So what, if anything, did you tell the defendant? I just went along what he said, but afterwards he did tell me to go back up. To go back up to where? To my hotel room. What happened? How is a motherfucker excuse me, how is a person held captive? Can't talk to their parents, can't eat, but you at a public hotel and you could come downstairs and meet somebody that he know and not look at them and be like, oh, he's holding me hostage. Like, come on, man. Okay. When I did get back up to my hotel room, I did tell him that there was something that I had been keeping from him. And when I told him, he immediately told me to go back to the tour bus. And where was the tour bus parked? It was outside of the hotel. Now, when you were in the hotel room and you told the defendant there was something you had been keeping from him, did you tell him what it was that you had been keeping from him? I believe I told him along the lines of that I had been pairing off and that I had been speaking of things with Joy and Nick that I shouldn't have. And before I got to the chance to go any further, he just told me, get my stuff and go to the bus, go to the tour bus. And when you said he told me to get your stuff, what did you understand the defendant wanted you to do? Like basically, like I was going to be as a punishment. I wasn't going to be allowed to stay in the hotel. So were you packing all your belongings? Yes. Where was the tour bus parked at the time? It was usually the tour bus was usually parked on the side or the back of the hotels. Did you, in fact, then go to the tour bus? I did, yes. Who, if anyone else, was on the tour bus when you got there? Me, Joy, and Nick. And again, just to be clear, Joy and Nick, were those women living in the with the defendant at the time? Yes, they were. What happened when you got back to the tour bus? He basically had said that he had already knew exactly what we had did and for us to puke, which we all did. And what do you mean by for us to puke? Usually when he said that, we knew that we would have to be honest and not leave out any little detail. And what is that? And what is it that you were being honest? Were you then, in fact, honest with the defendant? Yes, we were. What was it that you what was it that you were being honest with the defendant about? Basically, we had a conversation and he had discussed our personal relationships with him. Basically, like making each other upset, like making each other upset. All of us had basically said, oh, I'm closer to him because of X, Y, and Z. Oh, I'm closer to him because we do this and we do that. And that's not something we were ever supposed to share with one another. What we did personally with the defendant. And when you say we, who again are you referring to? Me, Joy, and Nick. Now, you said the defendant told you to sort of tell him everything. Uh-huh. And you used the word puke. Did you each of you then do that? Yes, we did. What happened after that? Afterwards, he told us all to go back on the bed and take all our clothes off, and he began to chastise us. And when you say he told you to go back on the bed, where was the bed? Were you still on the tour bus? Uh-huh. Where was the bed? The bed was all the way in the back of the tour bus, and he made all of us lay down naked side by side. You, Joy, and Nick? Yes. What happened? He then began to hit all of us about 15 times. What did he do? What did he use to hit each of you? He used one of his palm. And where on the body did he hit you? He hit us on our butt and our legs. And when you say that he hit you 15 times, do you mean that he hit each of you 15 times? Yes. What happened after that? After that, he then separated us and he continued to hit me more. Where did he hit? How did he separate you? He told Joy to go in the front of the bus and Nick to go to the back to the bunk bedroom, and I stayed there in the back, and he continued to hit me more. Was there a separate room on the bus with the bunk beds? Yes. There's 2 doors. So when you first walked onto the tour bus, it's like living in kitchen area, and then there's a middle room that has bunk beds that's usually for like if you're traveling with multiple guests, and beyond that door is the master bedroom that no one is allowed in. And which of these rooms were you in? The master, all the way in the back. And is that where he, defendant, had initially hit you, Joy, and Nick? Yes. And when the defendant was hitting you after he separated you from Joy and Nick, how was he hitting you? He was just hitting me all over because he was frustrated. He said I was the closest to him. Objection, overruled. What did he say? He said I was the closest to him and I should have known better. And what was he using to hit you then? Just an open palm, just slapping me and hitting me all over. What happened after that? He then said I would have to make up for it and that he was going to think of a punishment, and he left off the bus. Who used the term punishment? The defendant. Did you eventually learn what the punishment was? Yes, I did. When did you learn? He told me that I would. He came back on the tour bus and said that I would be meeting with somebody by the name of Nephew. Come on, man. Stop. Yo, come on, man. So he told you he was going to punish you, and you just forgot to mention what the punishment was going to be. So then she actually tell you what the punishment. Oh, he came back and told me he was going. That shit don't even sound right. Okay, I don't want to judge. And was that the individual shown in Government Exhibit 68? Yes, it was. Where, if anywhere, did the defendant tell you to go? He told me to get my things together, and he gave me the key to our room and told me to go up to the room and freshen up and put something skimpy and let him know when I was ready. So he just had you pack all your stuff up to go back to the bus, to go downstairs to talk to you with the other girls, to tell you to pack all your shit back up to go back upstairs. He told me to get my things together, and your things was already together. He gave me the key to our room, and he told me to go up to the room and freshen up and put on something skimpy and let him know when I was ready. What did you do? I did exactly what I was told. Now, at the time when you were carrying out what the defendant told you to do, if anything had the defendant told you about Nephew, he had mentioned Nephew a few times, and he had expressed to me that Nephew was a person that he had been grooming also since he was young. Do y'all believe this? He mentioned Nephew a few times, and I expressed to me that Nephew was a person that he had been grooming also since he was young. What do you mean grooming? Grooming how? Do you remember the words that the defendant used? Yes, he said that he had been grooming nephew since he was young like me. What happened next? I went up to the hotel room and I had freshened up and put on something skimpy, and the defendant knocked the same knock that he usually does. I opened the door. I then went into the master bedroom, which had a door, and he stayed in the living room area. And then about 15 minutes, then in about 15 minutes, he came in the master bedroom and he told me that nephew will be coming in here and to basically be into it just like I am with him, and to be into it and not to like act any type of way. Now you said that the defendant knocked on the door. This nigga ain't have a key to his own fucking room. Oh, excuse me. I'm just saying. This is R. Kelly. He's gonna roam through a hotel and not have a key to a room where he hoping that his girl is in there, and he's R. Kelly, and he don't have the key to him. Like, now you said the defendant knocked on the door, and what did the way he did? What do you mean by that? Defendant had a specific knock, and that's how we knew it was him every time, so he would know. We would know to open the door. What was the knock indicated? When you answered, do you want to describe that for the record? I can try it. Let the record reflect that the witness just did a knock of 4 separate knocks and a little bit of rhythm. It's R. Kelly. It's R. Kelly. It's R. Kelly. Is that correct? Yes. Hold on, Azriel. Let me do it real quick. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. I think it was 6. Do you want to do that again? Azriel, 5. Sorry about that. It's R. Kelly. It's R. Kelly. Sorry about that. 5, right? Yeah, sorry about that. Let the record reflect that there were approximately 5 knocks. Is that right? Yes. And was anyone with the defendant when he first entered the room? Anytime we open the door, we know to stand behind it so that just in case he is with people, they can't see us, so I wouldn't be seen. Okay? So when you open the door, did you see anybody else? No. Did you, in fact, go into the bedroom as the defendant directed? Yes, I did. What happened after that? He then came in with an iPad. He told me to get into it, that this was my punishment. And shortly after, nephew had followed behind him naked. And when you said that the defendant told you to get into it, what did he mean by that? Meaning, like, not to embarrass him. Not to embarrass who? The defendant. What do you understand that the defendant wanted you to do with nephew? He wanted me to please nephew the same way that I would please him. And how did you want to please nephew? Oh, and how did he want you to please nephew? By basically being into it and giving him like oral sex and vaginal penetration. What happened? Did nephew come into the room? Uh-huh. And what happened? You said he was naked. Yes. Where was the defendant when nephew came into the room? He was already in the room. And he was also naked. And he had his iPad in his hand. And then he propped it up. And he had begun to instruct both me and nephew what to do. And what, if anything, did you notice about the iPad? It was recorded. What did the defendant instruct you and nephew to do? He had instructed us exactly. He had basically talked us through every single thing to do. So if he wanted me to give nephew oral, he would say that. And if he wanted nephew to give me oral or sex, he would say that. And by oral, do you mean that he wanted your mouth on nephew's penis? Is that correct? Yes. And when he wanted nephew to give you oral sex, do you mean that he wanted nephew mouth on your vajayjay? Yes. Did both of these things happen between you and nephew? Yes. And did you want to have sexual contact with nephew? Never. Why did you? It was punishment. What do you think would happen if you did not have sex with nephew? Have sexual activity with nephew at the defendant's direction? I would probably be left somewhere for a long time. Objection, Your Honor. Sustained. What was the only time that you saw nephew? No, there were many. No, there were a few occasions that the defendant had made us get intimate. And when you say there were a few occasions the defendant made you be intimate, who are you referring to? Me and nephew. And by intimate, do you mean that you had, at the defendant's direction, sexual contact with nephew? Yes. Do you recall a time where you had sexual contact with nephew at the defendant's direction in the presence of someone else, or when someone else was around besides the defendant? Yes. What happened, girl? There was an encounter once when the defendant had told me after he had come that he'd been going back and forth from room to room, having vaginal penetration between me, Joy, and nephew. And do you remember where that took place? I do remember specifically where that took place. It was either at the studio or wait, I do not remember specifically where that took place. It was either at the studio or the Trump. Were both of these places in Chicago? Yes. When you say the Trump, are you referring to? I stayed in the master room, and Joy stayed in the rocking chair room. She didn't even finish the question. And I'm sorry, is the Trump a residence? Yes. And is that a building where the defendant lived for a period of time? Yes. And did you also live with the defendant there? Yes, I did. And you stated that the defendant told you what happened after the fact. Is that correct? Yes. When that happened, did you know that Joy was in whether it was the studio or the Trump at the same time as you? No, he was just coming in the room every 10 minutes. And who was it? And who he had come in the room every 10 minutes? The defendant and nephew. Oh, and who was it had come in the room every 10 minutes? The defendant and nephew. And what would happen when the defendant and nephew came into the room? We would have intercourse. Who would have intercourse? All three of us. And again, did you want to be having intercourse with nephew? No, I did not. And again, why did you have intercourse with nephew? Because it was punishment. Based on your prior experiences with the defendant, what, if anything, did you think would happen if you did not have intercourse with nephew at the defendant's direction? I would objection. I'll sustain it as to form. The question is, why did you do it if you didn't want to? Because I would have gotten chastised regardless, so it wouldn't have made a difference. And you testified about 2 different times when you had sexual contact with nephew at the defendant's direction? Were there other times as well? Oh, yes. You testified yesterday that there was a time when you were living with the defendant and multiple women. Over time, did some of these women leave the defendant? Yes, they did. So why didn't you? You sit there and have sex with people you don't want to, but other women in the house just could leave. Why did you stay there? If you didn't like having sex with nephew, why would you stay there when everybody else is free to leave? And your parents is looking for you to come home. And as of July of 2019, who, if anyone, was still spending time with the defendant? July of 2019. What is that? When the Surviving R. Kelly stuff began? I would have to object right here, and just to see what the relevance was of this question. As of July of 2019, if anyone was still spending time with the defendant, I don't necessarily recall the exact timeline of when everyone left. However, in 2019, I believe it might have been just me, Joy, and me. And y'all had this man having a cult with 3 women. That's a cult with 3 women. 2019 is when this all happened, right? 3 women. Y'all know how many women you have had in the Playboy house? The Playboy mansion? How many of y'all had Playboy shirts or wore the logo? And this nigga had mad white girls, or just mad girls in his house, period. How many of y'all celebrities went to the Playboy mansion and got some sex? Keep it real with yourself. I'm not asking you to reveal yourself. Just keep it real with yourself. How many of y'all went to the Playboy mansion and had sex and had threesomes? I don't got to name none of y'all. Y'all know who y'all are. How many of y'all had Playboy bunnies, air fresheners, t-shirts, bedspreads, curtains, shower curtains, earrings, necklaces, panties, lingerie? And y'all talking about R. Kelly with 3 women? When all these niggas used to go to the Playboy Mansion, the Bunny Ranch, whatever it was, and would go over there and have sex. And all these women living in this man's house. It's different when you black, boy. Shit's different when you black. People don't even look at it the same. Y'all don't even look at it the same. This nigga had mad women living in his house, walking around in fucking bunny outfits. Celebrities go there and get their rocks off. Or niggas with money in them little rooms. And they like, come on, man. That shit ain't fair, yo. They can't even live the life of a rock star when he a rock star. They can't have 3 girlfriends. But if you white, you can have a Playboy mansion, the Playboy Bunny Ranch, and you can have a whole magazine. You can put black women like Stacey Dash on the cover. I mean, let's just look at the black women that did Playboy. Jane Kennedy. Vanity. Latoya Jackson. And y'all know inside the magazine, they all nude, right? Tracy Bingham. Naomi Campbell. Shari Belafonte. Mariah Carey. Azalea Banks. I'm just saying. Now, if R. Kelly had a bunny ranch and the Playboy mansion and had the Playboy bunny and all this other stuff, he in jail. But this man could do it, franchise it, and nobody say shit. Let's get back to these damn transcripts. I don't necessarily recall the exact timeline of when everyone left. However, in 2019, I believe it may have been just me, Joy, and Meek. Or Meek. Could have possibly left already by then. Was it then meaning that he only had 2 girls in his house? While y'all had him surviving R. Kelly had him like this nigga had 100 girls in his house, he had 2. Was there a time when Meek did, in fact, leave the defendant? Yes, there was. Why didn't you leave then? And the individual you testified earlier yesterday about who you call V, did she too leave defendant? Yes, she did. Why didn't you leave? And Juice, did she leave the defendant? Yes, she did. Why didn't you leave? How is all these people all being held captive and they can leave? Who put out this bullshit that these people was stuck and trapped in his house like Asante when everybody else could leave? Everybody could leave. Over the course of the time, the 5 years that you spent with the defendant, did the defendant continue to chastise you? Yes, he did. So why didn't you leave? I'm showing the witness what's been marked as for identification as government exhibit 457, 458, 459, and 460. May I approach, Your Honor? Yes. Do you recognize the exhibits I just showed you? Yes, I do. Generally speaking, what are they? They are letters that are handwritten to the defendant, usually the times when I didn't have a phone. Y'all gonna sit here and tell me R. Kelly can't read, but she was writing this nigga letters? He can't read, but she's writing him letters. And just for the record, y'all, if you never saw the paperwork that the family signed for her to go live with R. Kelly, let me just show it to you. Shit ain't even ripped out the book. Where's the company letterhead? Where's the notary? Like, dude, somebody explain this to me. Where's the letterhead? Where's the letterhead, y'all? Where I got $1 million. Anybody that could show me that R. Kelly name is on there. I got $2 million for anybody that show me Sony Music or Rockland Records is name companies on there. I got $3 million for anybody that could tell me under what care that this girl is going to be under. Is she going with her goddamn a cheerleading coach? Or is she going with a singing coach? Is she going to train for the gymnastics? I got $3 million. If y'all could tell me based on this letter here alone, just on this letter here alone, how can you tell me she going to work with R. Kelly or a record label? I'll wait. Oh, y'all ain't got no answers? Damn, y'all want $3 million? That's easy money. $3 million? Y'all don't want that? All you got to do is prove to me that this letter is saying that she could go pursue a singing career. I got $3 million for you right now. Cash. And all nickels. And all nickels. Got $3 million in all nickels right now. If you could prove to me for a fact that that's saying that she could go and pursue a singing career with R. Kelly or his record label. $3 million in nickels. Nobody? Okay. Damn, y'all niggas must be rich out there. Y'all niggas must be really rich. Y'all want $3 million cash in nickels? Y'all niggas got to be rich. Y'all got to be rich. Let me get back to this damn transcript, goddamn it. Yes, I do. Generally speaking, these are letters that I had written to the defendant, usually times when I didn't have a phone. And why would you write letters to the defendant on those on those occasions? If I had messed up or did something or broke a rule, I would usually have to write letters. And who would you write letters to? To the defendant. A nigga that can't read. Okay. The government offers 457 through 460. Any objection? Mr. Cannick, none. Those are evidence. I want to begin with Government Exhibit 457. This is two sides. We're going to start at the first side. Can you read? Is this your handwriting? Yes, that is. Can you read what you wrote in Government Exhibit 457? At this point, this isn't about making me better. Your pride, sorry, and ego is involved, and you can't forgive me unless I suck up to you or beg or plead or hung all over you to forgive me. When really, as long as I'm tried, you should be thankful. As long as I'm still apologizing and accepting my chastising, you should be happy because I have to be happy when you don't want to poke me or go out with me. I don't mind accepting my chastising, but I'm not going to get spankings over and over again because my apology isn't up to your standards or doesn't fill your ego or doesn't feed your ego, because that's not what it's about. As long as I'm apologizing and turning over the page, accepting my chastising, that's all that matters. I don't want you to I don't want you to be able to say I'm the reason nothing is being done, because I'm not. I accept my spanking. You walked out. So this cycle isn't happening because of me. So you can go let Joy go get her passport. You can have the charger for your laptop. Joy can check it for you. She has an email, so she'll know how to work it. I don't want to be why everything is at a halt. Do you mind moving it up a little bit? One moment. I'm just really tired of arguing over stupid things that don't even matter. Things that if there was someone else, you wouldn't even question it. Yet everything with me is a problem. And I'm desperate to make us work. But I just don't know what else to do to fix this. Now, do you remember writing this specific letter? I don't remember what had transpired, but I do remember writing this letter, yes. How regularly did you write letters similar to this one? Almost every 2 or 3 days. And looking back to the first side that you read, when you said, as long as I'm still apologizing and accepting my chastising, you should be happy. What were you referring to in that? Meaning that sometimes when I apologize, if it didn't like stroke his ego enough, an apology wouldn't suffice enough at all times. And what do you mean by chastising? Meaning like a spanking. And on the back, of this, you reference Joy. Is that Joy who previously testified about and identified you in the photo? I mean, excuse me, is that the Joy who you previously testified about and identified in the photo? Yes. I'm now putting Exhibit 458, which is an evidence on the screen. Can you read that to the jury if you can see it? I don't mind getting chastised, but I'm not going to get a spanking, apologize, and then go through it all over again because my apology isn't good enough, or I don't beg you to forgive me. If Joy said, I'm going to make a call in here or step out, and she says step out, you would have asked her why, would you? You wouldn't have asked her why. you wouldn't have got upset or anything. Yet everything I say or do is always blowing up, and it's stupid stuff. Doesn't even matter. And then when my apology isn't up to your standards, the cycle starts all over again. And there's an arrow, and I'm going to turn it over. This isn't teaching. And I'm just tired of the same old cycle every time. I may not hug you or beg you to forgive me. But an apology is an apology. And I don't know what more you want from me. I've apologized now. We have to go through this all over again because you still feel some type of way when it's not about either our personal feelings. It's about me trying. Now to the top of that second page that you read, you wrote that isn't teaching. Yes. And anyone used the word teaching, the defendant saw chastising as teaching. How do you know that? He would say that. And what is that you understand the defendant meant by that? It was to help me. The chastising were to help me. To help you do what? Remember the way to act and be. According to whom? The defendant. I'm now showing you what's in evidence as government exhibit 49 and excuse me, 459. I'm sorry. Hold on, y'all gotta see. What is it on this? What is showing on the front page? A book. And if I flip it over, is there writing there? Yes, there is. Do you remember? And just to be clear, each of the letters 457 through 456 to 460, you testified that those were letters written by you, correct? Yes, they are. Do you remember why you were writing on the book cover? Because I had no paper. And sometimes if I didn't have paper and I was left somewhere, he would say to figure it out. So I just have to write on anything I could find. Can you read what you wrote in government exhibit 459? I said, the things you get angry over, you wouldn't even care about if it was someone else. If Joy said she had to make a call and you wanted her to do so in or out of the room, you would say what you would do. You would say, which do you think? And she said out. What? You would say, okay. Then and drop it and leave it alone. Yet with me, a million extra questions that don't even matter. I'm not happy. I'm not being fulfilled sexually. And on top of that, I'm getting spankings nearly every day. This isn't what I want my life to be. And I know you don't want this either. When you said in here that I'm getting spankings nearly every day, what are you referring to? The defendant was hitting me every day. And finally, I'm showing you what's in evidence as government exhibit 460. And I'm just going to start by just holding it up. What is this? What is that you notice about 460? The paper is torn in half. Yes. All right. Just so the jury can see. All right. And then I'm going to put these two pieces on 460 back. Can you read that, please? Yes. The main issue is the things we argue over. I don't mind and will never mind being chastised because I've lied or did something wrong. I'm tired of you nitpicking stupid, non-for-profit reasons to start an argument. This started because you asked me where I thought I should have the call, which is so stupid. Then it led to you asking me why, which is when I lied and I got a spanking and apologize. Then you come in here and wanted to argue because you thought I text you because Joy texted you. I don't want to be with anyone that is on the edge looking for something to argue about because that's exactly what it feels like. And if you argue with me, nitpick everything I do, I lay or sit in the closet to you, and then I don't want this. I mess up enough, too much on my own for you to, I'm going to turn it over. Want to argue even more on top of everything, because whether I choose to feed your ego or not, whether I have a little bit of remorse or overflowing with remorse, an apology is an apology. And I don't want to be with anyone that has a problem or challenges me on everything. At this point, it's just nitpicking and too many arguments over dumb stuff. And if you nitpick because I lay with you or I'm the closest to you, I don't want it. I don't want any of this. That means you are starting arguments purposely because I'm the closest to you or because I want to be the closest to you. I mess up enough on my own. So for you to do this continuously on top of me messing up is just too much. And I don't want it for you at all if this is what I have to go through. Now, to be clear, I think on the first page of this, you wrote, I will never mind being chastised because I lied. Uh-huh. But as you sit here today, do you mind being chastised? No. Do you want to be hit by the defendant? No. So fair to say, do you mind being chastised? Objection. Overruled. The question is today, you wrote, the question is today. Well, you asked the question. Today, do you still feel the same or do you still feel the way, maybe you never felt this, but do you feel the way that you wrote here where you said, I don't want to, or I don't mind being chastised? No. Objection. Overruled. How do you feel now? I feel like I never deserved any of that. And do you want to be chastised? And did you want to be chastised then? I did not. Now, yesterday you testified about certain letters that the defendant told you to write containing falsehood. Do you recall that testimony? I do. And you also testified about apology letters that the defendant would have you write when you were in a room at the defendant's direction. Do you recall that? Yes. The letters that you just read shown in government 457 to 60, 460, how would you describe those letters? What were there? What were those? Well, these letters were not acceptable. So basically what I was saying in these letters is that I would be chastised and then I would write this letter and he would not accept it. And then I would be chastised again. Now, is this an example of one of the letters that you said you wrote that contained falsehood and embarrassing information? What do you mean? Yesterday, you testified about the letters that you wrote where you admit to stealing something from the defendant. These are strictly apology letters after he felt I had done something wrong. Okay, so this is there are two types of letters that the defendant had you write. Is that correct? Yes. Are you familiar with the docuseries Surviving R. Kelly? I am very familiar with it. Were you still living with the defendant at the time that it aired? I was, yes. At the time that it aired, what, if anything, did the defendant say about it? He just let us know ahead of time that there was a documentary coming out about him, that everything was false. And he told us about a few of the women whom were a part of it, and that he had his attorney send cease and desist to Lifetime. And when you said he told us, who do you mean by that? Me and Joy. And were you the two individuals still living with the defendant at the time the docuseries came out? Yes. What, if anything, did the defendant tell you to do if the docuseries came up while you were watching the television? We were to immediately change the channel. And while you were with the defendant, did you watch the docuseries? Never. Did you and the defendant discussed making any public statements following at the docuseries? No. He had expressed to us that if there ever came a time for us to speak and stand up, would we? And we said yes. Did he explain what he wanted you to do? No. He never said that what we would actually be publicly speaking. What, if anything, did you do to prepare for hypothetical time when you would make a public appearance? Weeks prior to that, he had began telling us and making us answer questions. And just to be clear, who is he in that statement? The defendant. And who is us? Me and Joy. And hold on. When you say you answer questions, what did you mean? He would have us, when we was around, he would ask us questions. And when we were alone, he would tell us to write down questions and write down answers towards them. And any answers that we stumbled upon or didn't know the answer to, the right answer, to write it down so that when we would see him, he would go over it and we would give us the proper answer. And what was the proper answer? Always the truthful answer? No, it was not. Did you eventually make a public appearance? We did, yes. What did you make a public appearance on? Gayle King. Where was that at? Where was that filmed at? At Trump Towers on the hotel sides. And at the time that you made the appearance on Gayle King, where were you living? At the Trump Towers on the residential side. So fair to say there were two parts of the Trump Towers. Yes. One side was the residential and one side was the hotel side. Yes. Where was the defendant? Let me back up. Who is Gayle King? I don't know too much about her. I just believe that she's a news anchor. And was it a TV appearance or a radio appearance or something else? It was TV. And so was it filmed? Yes. And where was the defendant who participated in the Gayle King appearance? The defendant, And where was the defendant? Who participated in the Gayle King appearance? The defendant, me and Joy. And were you in fact interviewed by Gayle King? Yes, we were. And when you say we, who are you referring to? Me and Joy. Were the two of you interviewed together? Yes, we were. Where was the defendant while you and Joy interviewed by Gayle King? He was also present in the hotel room. Were you truthful when you spoke to Gayle King? I was not. You hear that, Gayle? You couldn't tell she was lying, Gayle? Oh, God. What, if anything, did the defendant do during their appearance during the time you and Joy were being interviewed by Gayle? He did a coughing. He usually does, which everyone knows to let us know. Objection. He was near. The court sustained as the everyone knows part. But he did a cough. There's a very similar cough that he does. So what cough? What do you understand when he meant by that cough? He was just letting us know that he was in the room with us. And what do you believe was what do you believe was the purpose of the defendant letting you know he was in the room with you? Sustained. That means don't answer. Sorry. That's all right. I want you to direct your attention to the summer of 2019. Did there come a time in the summer of 2019 when you stopped living with the defendant for a period of time? Yes, there was. And during that period of time, did you decide to leave the defendant permanently? Yes, I did. Approximately when did that happen? October 2019. And when you did that, did you move out of the Trump Towers where you had been living? I had, yes. At some point, did you agree to meet with the government? I did, yes. Do you remember when that first happened? I believe that was January of 2020. You testified yesterday that when you first saw the defendant at the concert, when you first saw the defendant at the Dolphin Hotel, you auditioned for him. Do you recall that? Yes, I do. And you testified that the defendant said he was going to help you. Fair to say? Yes. What, if any, steps did the defendant take over the next 5 years to further your music aspirations? None. While you were with the defendant, while you were still living with the defendant, would you have described to others your time with the defendant as abusive? Yes, I would have. And you stayed there for 5 years? Would you have publicly said that though? At the time, I was with him. No. Would you now? Yes. When did you start to do that? It took me until January 2020. After you had spent some time away from the defendant? Yes. Have you had any contact with the defendant since January of 2020? I have not. One moment. Pause in the proceedings. Nothing further, Your Honor. The court. All right. I think this might be a good time, unless you want to start, Mr. Canning. I think this might be a good time for a break. Let's have a break. The court. Okay. So just 15 minutes or so. Please don't talk about the case. The courtroom deputy. All rise. And the witness can step down. All right, everyone can have a seat. Can I see counsel at the side for a minute, please? One second. Please subscribe. Take this time to subscribe if you're new here. Please just like, subscribe, please. Please like and subscribe right now, please. And I will get back into it. Irish Soul for Kelly. Appreciate it. Here we go. Okay. Following an encouraged sidebar, the judge, I'm slightly concerned about, not only is it relevant to you, Mr. Canning, I think that Mrs. Becker is conflicted out of. That's correct. I just don't know if you recall that. I'll remind her. Just in terms of if she is giving you any input or feedback. But it is. Mr. Cannick, I understand the court, judge. But I did make a ruling. I think it's before you joined. No, she's not giving me any advice or any information about the witness. Mr. Kelly is using her as a conduit, but other than that, she's just passing messages. Okay, it just occurred to me that I think you should be extra careful about it. Sure, I'll remind her right now. Thank you. Sidebar conference ended. Okay, you may be seated. Okay, everybody, we are ready for the continue with the cross-examination by Mr. Cannick. Before we break for lunch, I'll go over our schedule, calendar-wise, with you all. So go ahead, Mr. Cannick. Thank you. The witness is reminded she's still under oath. Yes, ma'am. How far did you go in school? Pardon me? How far did you go in school? I think your microphone might not be working. Okay. How far did you go in school? High school. How far in high school? A high school diploma. You graduated? I did, yes. And when was that you graduated? I graduated in 2016. 2016. Was there a graduation ceremony? Yes, there was. What was the date of that graduation ceremony? I do not recall. Did you attend? I did, yes. Do you remember what time of the year it was? I do not recall. Do you remember whether it was January of 2016? No, I believe it would have been later. Later? Now, before coming in and starting your testimony yesterday, you had met with the government and going over the questions that they have asked of you. Am I correct? Yes, I did. How many times have you met with the government to discuss your testimony prior to coming to give testimony here? I don't know. Well, more than 5? About, yes. Oh, so this girl was coached. But she met with the government 5 times to go over her testimony. She was coached by the prosecution. R. Kelly ain't have a chance in hell, yo. Well, more than 5? About, yes. And when was the last time you spoke with them about your testimony? Today? And what time today? Before we began. Before you started this morning. Uh-huh. And what about last night? You asked me that last time. No, I'm asking you a new question. What about last night? Did you discuss your testimony with them last night? Not that I can recall, no. Did you have any meetings with them last night? After, no. And before yesterday, was there the last time you met with them to discuss your testimony? The day before I had come here. And do you recall what time of the day before was? It was the day before yesterday. What was that day? What is today's day? Thursday? Wednesday? You're looking to the government for an answer? Sunday. Sorry. Sunday. Sunday. And what time did you start your meeting with them on Sunday? And why they meeting with you on the Sunday is my goddamn question. They rarely was prepping this girl. Probably about 11 a.m. And what time did you end on Sunday? Probably around 6 p.m. So you got a 7-hour prepping? This stinks. This stinks. And before Sunday, so about 7 hours on Sunday, yes. And before Sunday, when had you met with them before Sunday? Saturday. How much time did you spend with them on Saturday? About the same period. And before Saturday, when was the last time you spent time with them? About a week earlier. And in that week, you met with them 1 or 2 days. About 2 days, yes. And the same amount of time, yes. This girl was doing 7-hour shifts with the feds, yo. Why wouldn't she flip on them, on R. Kelly? Feds putting you under that much pressure, she was going, come on, man. Everybody told her they was going to lock up her baby she ain't even got. We gotta lock your first kid up. And when you met with them, you went over documents. Am I correct? I did, yes. And they shared with you information about prior interviews you had given. Am I correct? Yes. They coached her for this whole fucking trial, yo. They coached her. And they also shared with you these photographs that you testified about. Here, am I correct? Yes, they did. So she know these pictures. They showed her what to say. They showed her the pictures ahead of time. Yo, this is Ian, this is Abel. Remember that. That's why shit wasn't making sense. This is sad, man. And they also shared with you these photographs that you tested about here earlier. Am I correct? Yes, they did. And they also shared with you other exhibits that they had that they were questioning you about. Am I correct? Yes. Now, also, you made a number of social media postings about the facts of this case. Am I correct? It's been limited, but yes. I beg your pardon? It's been limited, but yes. When you say limited, how many? Less than 5? Less than 5? When was your last posting? I don't recall. And you've monetized these postings. Am I correct? No. Well, not all of them. I didn't ask you about all of them. I said, my question was, have you monetized them? Objection. Well, why don't you, when you say monetize, do you mean she was paid for them? Question. You written about the monetization of content. Am I correct? You researched that, correct? Yes. So you know what I mean. Am I correct? I do, yes. Now I want to go to your testimony yesterday and today. You just testified and told the jury about years of abuse. Do you remember telling us about that? Yes. Okay. When did this abuse begin? In 2015. And when you met Mr. Kelly in 2000, you met him in 2015? Am I correct? Yes, I did. And according to you, you met him as of April 18th, 2015. Am I correct? I don't remember the specific date of the show, but yes, it was in April. Okay, you testified that came a point in time that you started living with him in 2015. Am I correct? Yes, that is true. When was that day? That was when school had ended and summer had began. I began living in Chicago. And the abuse started right then? No. Did the abuse start a month later? The abuse started, yeah, about a few months later. Okay, so it started a few months later. And what was the nature of the abuse in a few months later? No, withdrawn. When was that school ended? I don't recall. When was it that school ended? I don't recall. Your Honor, may I approach the witness? Sure. Show us something to see if she refreshes her recollection. Can you show us what you're showing? Proffering, counsel approaches the witness. I want you to look at this document and see if it refreshes your recollection as to when the school year ended in 2015. Look at the portion that's highlighted in yellow. Yes. May I have it back? Proffering. After having looked at the document, does it refresh your recollection as to when the school year ended in 2015? It does. When did it end? Beginning of June. Beg your pardon? June. June what? 3rd. June 3rd? And based on your testimony then, you moved to Chicago with Mr. Kelly sometime after June 3rd, 2015. I'm sorry, I should rephrase that. I actually had left school probably a week and a half earlier. I had turned in all of my work. So you left school prior to June 3rd, 2015. Yes, that is accurate. And you said the abuse started about 2 months after that. Am I correct? Yes. And so that would be sometime in August. Am I correct? That is the first time he hit me with an open palm. Yes. My question, and if you don't understand my question, please let me know. My question is, the abuse started sometime after August. Judge, can I just clarify? I'm sorry, Mr. Kanik. When you say abuse, are you referring to something in particular, a physical abuse? Mr. Kanik. Well, what I asked is that she testified about a number of abuse starting the time she spent with him. I just might want to be I just think it might being good to define what you mean by abuse. Mr. Cannon, what did you define abuse as being? Well, why don't you direct her to the particular you want her to speak about? I just think abuse is a broad. All I'm saying is, if you break it down, abuse is a broad term. Mr. Cannon, when you say that my client abused you for the first time, what was the nature of the abuse? What time are you referring to? I'm asking you. You said my client abused you 2 months after you started living with him. I'm asking you, what was the nature of the abuse? Okay, there was a time he did slap me open palm. So that would possibly be the beginning of it, which is when I told him my age at the end of the summer. The end of the summer. And when he slapped you, he sent you home the next day. Am I correct? Yes, he did. And the slap is sort of at you, according to you. Now, when you went home, were you with your parents? Am I correct? Yes, I was. You were with your family. Am I correct? Yes, I was. And you came back? Yes, I did. When you were with your parents, did you tell them that he slapped you? I did not. No. Now you testified and told us that you met Mr. Kelly in April of 2015. Now, and you told him that you were 18 years old. Am I correct? Yes. So when she met R. Kelly at the hotel, when she met R. Kelly at the concert, she lied and told us, man, she was fucking 18 years old, man. She lied and told us, man, she was 18 years old, man. I'm fucking pissed off right now. And these parents running around here making all this fucking noise. And this girl went and lied to this man and told him that, see, this is what I'm telling y'all. And y'all be looking at him like, oh, nigga, you fucking with them young girls. Yeah, he like young ladies. but the ones of consent. Nigga done learned his lesson fucking with them young girls. Like, you know, with his history, you know he not taking no chance on no young chick. These girls lying. So all this time, since the concert, this motherfucker thought she was 18, man. That's why the cop ain't doing nothing at the hotel. Because she told him she was 18. And when the fucking police came to that hotel, she told him she was 18. Fucking no fucking R. Kelly ran out the back door. That shit is bullshit. She told him she was 18. This shit is bullshit, man. Now, your parents told you to tell them that you were 18 years old. Am I correct? No. Your parents did not tell you to tell them, I'm overruling the objection. My question, did your parents tell you to tell them that you were 18 years old? Yes or no? No, they did not. Now, you testified and told us that when you went to this concert, that you were in section B, the C section. The C section, you weren't in the B section. When we got there, we were together. So people in the C section could sit in the B section. I'm asking, where were you? The B section. B or C? I was in the B section with my parents, but we had bought tickets for the C section. And there came a point in the time you said that somehow you got up to the pit. Correct, yes. And prior, at some point, either before the show or while you were there, it was suggested to you by your mother that you give Mr. Kelly's attention. Am I correct? I don't recall that. Now, and when you got to be in the pit, you testified and told us yesterday that at some point, Mr. Kelly grabbed your hand or held your hand. Yes, he did. Now, were you reaching your hand up to him? Am I correct? Correct. And you weren't the only one doing that. There were a number of fans trying to reach him and get his attention. Am I correct? Absolutely, yes. And he touched a number of hands as he performed the song. Am I correct? Not actually true. He only touched about 10 people. 10 is not a number. Objection. Sustained. So he touched more than your hand. Am I correct? Yes. Now you testified and told us that he performed the show pretty much to you. Yes. Were you standing alone? I was not. You are around other people. Am I correct? I was, yes. There are other fans at the show. Am I correct? Yes, there was. They were right around you. Am I correct? Yes, they were. There were people who were in the back of you. Am I correct? Yes, they were. Because you were in the pit. Am I correct? Yes, I was. And there were people behind you. Am I correct? Yes, there was. Immediately behind you. Am I correct? No. There weren't people sitting or standing behind where you were. Oh, yes. In the pit, yes. Now, there were people on the side, the right side of you, yes. And the left side of you, uh-huh. And in the pit, there were people bunched around trying to get attention and dancing. Am I correct? Not many people were in the pit. Speaking of dancing, you eventually got up on the stage. Am I correct? I never got on the stage. You never got on the stage. I never did, no. You didn't get on the stage and twerk on the speaker. I sat on the speaker. I didn't get on the stage. So you sat on the speaker. Yes, I was on the speaker. Speaker was on the floor. Yes. You danced on the speaker. Yes. You twerked on the speaker. I danced on the speaker. What dance did you do? Objection. Overruled. Do you remember what kind of dance you did? I danced just like everyone else. Do you know what a twerk is? Yes, I do. Did you twerk? Objection. I was just moving my body just like everyone else. When you were moving your body like everyone else, you were twerking, weren't you? Objection. Sustained. Yes, I was. Okay. I sustained the objection, but oh, I'm sorry. It's all right, Mr. Canning. Now you testified that there came a point in time that you got Mr. Kelly's number somehow. His entourage gave it to me. Yes. If my question asks a yes or no, please just give me a yes or no. Okay, sorry. After you got his number, you told your parents, am I correct? Yes. At some point, you told your parents, in particular, your mother, your mother, that you think that Mr. Kelly was looking at you and you think that he likes you. I don't recall. Now, after you got his number, you made an effort to reach out to him. Am I correct? I did, yes. And there was no response to your effort. Yes. And basically, there came a point in time that your mother reached out to him. Am I correct? Yes. And your mother started texting him. Yes, she did. And your mother started pretending that she was you. Am I correct? Yes, she did. And he asked your mother how old you were, how old she was, pretending to be you. I don't know. You read those messages between Mr. Kelly and your mother pretending to be you. Am I correct? I didn't read all of them, no. Now, did you read one where he asked your mother for a picture? I just saw pictures, yes. That's basically all I saw. And she sent him pictures of you. Am I correct? Yes, she did. Pretending to be you. Am I correct? Yes, she did. And one of these things that were sent was a video of you dancing in your underwear. Am I correct? Singing and dancing in your underwear. Am I correct? That's not true. That's not true? Yes. Then send a picture of you singing and dancing in your underwear. Objection. My mother, no. You did. Oh, me at a later date, yes. How long did your mother keep up this texting to Robert pretending to be you? It was only about 2 days. Do you know how many texts were exchanged in that time? I do not know. Now, you didn't have to be 18 to audition for being a singer. Am I correct? No. Now, your parents were really invested in your music career. Yes, they did support me. Well, they did more than support you. They encouraged you. Am I correct? Yes, they did. In fact, they put great pressure on you. Am I correct? I think they just supported me. Well, isn't it a fact that they beat you so that you could objection overruled? Isn't it a fact that they beat you in order to make you practice your music? Yes. That beating started when you were in Baltimore. Am I correct? Objection. Can I see counsel at the side, please, with the court reporter? I just want to clarify where we're going here. I think I know, but I ruled pre-trial that even if the parents had pushed her into a relationship with him, that it is not that how the fuck is that is obviously not a defense. Why is that not a defense? I think I know, but I ruled that even if the parents had pushed her into a relationship with him, that is obviously not a defense. I mean, they are what they are. But I think that I'm right that the focus on the parents right now is to support your theory that they and she conspired to get money out of him. get money out of him, yeah. Judge, extort him? Yes. I don't know. I'm sure you have a good faith basis for that. I'm not questioning that, but basically, Your Honor, is that she had no interest in music at this time. None. The prosecutors opened up yesterday saying that she was only interested in pursuing music and Mr. Kelly wanted sex. But I precluded inquiry into that. Right. I'm not asking that. Right. I'm trying to be very careful in asking it in such a way to show that basically her parents put great pressure on her, and they were really invested in the music career and really invested to try to get her together with him. Judge, I don't think there's anything wrong. I mean, first of all, the jurors are going to have a natural curiosity about where the parents were. But I'm going to give them an instruction at the end that even if the parents didn't have a problem with this, they can't consent for a 17-year-old. So I mean, it is going to be some kind of instruction about the time limit to which they consider the parents' involvement. Canic, I understand that, but I don't know. But I am guessing. I want to give you some latitude here, and I'm doing that. But I just want to make sure we are not crossing over into what I've precluded. So I think you need to get to the point where you're saying there is an extortion, which that's legitimate. Whether her parents were abusive to her, I don't think it's consistent. Just let me finish. It is consistent with that. I'm not sure how relevant it is. Sidebar. Let me just hear from the prosecutor, and then I'll hear from you. First of all, the witness has now established that she was, in fact, beaten by her parents. That's now out there. There's no basis to go further back into her childhood and make her relive any abuse that she may have suffered by her parents in front of everybody today. This is not a trial of the witness parents, and that is what they're making this out to be. Hold on. This trial is not a witness about her parents, but her parents is the reason for this trial. This trial is not about the parents, but the parents is the reason for the trial. So how we cannot bring up the parents if you're talking about dealing with an underage fucking child? How does not the parents not be involved if you're dealing with an underage person? How do you not deal with the parents if the person is not old enough to consent? How is the parents not able to be involved in this trial? That's a straight railroad. That's the only way you don't want the parents involved. If you just want to make sure that you can railroad it. What the fuck? This is not a trial of the witness parents. And that is what they're making this out to be. You could go forward with your extortion theory in a different way without. I mean, she lived in Baltimore years earlier. It's just not relevant where the abuse began or what, frankly, the nature of the abuse is. I don't see the judge. I don't see that you're going into an what is it? Exploitation of her childhood. Are you, Mr. Kenny? Far from that. Prosecutor. But when did the court, but let me just finish. Sorry. Calm down. If you have evidence that, and I'm saying this because you have to say you have a good faith basis that they wanted to get money out of him. That's certainly in an appropriate area, but only to the extent that she's aware of it. Why else would they be dealing with R. Kelly if it wasn't about financial gain? Even if they wanted him to sign their daughter, that's for financial gain. And so, if there's some evidence that she's aware of what her parents' motives are, that's fine. But I think there's been enough about whether her parents beat her. I mean, I thought she testified that she was in a choir and all these other things. Are you saying that wasn't her own choice? No, because she was in two choirs, right? And what's the basis for that? Is that in the materials? I haven't read all the materials, prosecutor. What is in the materials is that her parents put pressure on her to succeed in the music world. There's nothing in there saying that she didn't want to patriot singers or other activities that they did. But I still don't think we need to go any further into any physical abuse that the victim, I mean, to the extent that it's relevant, I don't know. It seems marginally relevant at best to this extortion business, unless you are saying they forced her into it, which I don't take that to be your argument. No. I take it that your argument is that they are basically stage parents that don't really care about their child's welfare and have turned sort of a blind eye to what's happened to her. But I don't know how helpful that is to your case. But that's not my point. Right. But if you have evidence that there's a line of inquiry that she conspired with her parents to get money out of him, perfectly fine. Oh, yes, we do. Well, let's go to that and stay away from, okay, her childhood. Okay. So are we moving past any questions? Why don't you let me stay? Why don't you let me stay in your lane? I'll take care of it. Absolutely. Because I am not going to listen to you. That's Canning talking to the prosecutor. All right, let's move on. Thank you. Cross-examination continuing. Now, you testified yesterday some black panties that you got at the show. Am I correct? Yes. And you testified and told us that Mr. Kelly gave it to you. Yes, he did. Okay, this is when you were in the pit? Yes. Latonya, good looking. Thank you. I appreciate it. What's your page? I unblock you. Now you testified about some black panties that you got at the show. Am I right? Correct. Yes. And you testified to us that Mr. Kelly gave it to you, right? Yes, he did. Okay. This is when you were in the pit. Yes. You weren't the only person that received the black panties that night. Am I correct? No, I was not. And then in fact, the next day you went on social media. Am I correct? I did. And what did you put on social media about it? I believe I made a post pertaining to the black panties that he given me. What did you say about the black panties? I don't remember verbatim. And what did you put on social media about it? I believe I made a post pertaining to the black panties that he given me. What did you say about the black panties? I don't remember verbatim. I'm going to ask that I be allowed to approach, Your Honor. Sure. Your Honor, may I see it as well? Is that a public post that you referenced? Yes. You made that. Yes, I did. And you made that. That's the post that you made pertaining to the black panties. Yes. Receiving the black panties. Yes. Your Honor, am I going to offer that as a defense exhibit? Any objection? None. Okay, that is in evidence. I think it is N. Defense Exhibit N was received in evidence. And are we going to ask that it be published, Your Honor, to the jury? Is this jury only? Yes, Your Honor. Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. Now, in April 2015, you were a member of the Patriot Singers, you said. Yes, I was. How long have you been with that group? I have been with that group the entire year. You had to audition. Alvera, good looking. Thank you. I appreciate you. Uh, how long have you been with that group? I have been with that group the entire year. You had to audition. Okay. And you testified yesterday about losing a scholarship that you have received or scholarships that you have received for college. Where were those scholarships in what schools? No, no, no. I think you misunderstood me. By me getting homeschooled, I could no longer be eligible to get those scholarships. So you were never offered a scholarship? No, but we were studying to. Now, when you in April of 2015, you were taking a break from music. Am I correct? I don't recall. You don't recall whether or not you were taking a break from music? Objection. Overruled. I don't think so. No, I had just actually shot a release single. And what was the name of that single? It was called Liar Liar. How appropriate. And it was released at that time? No, it was unreleased. I believe we just got back the finalized edits. And when was it that you got back the finalized edit? I believe it was April. Was it before the concert or after the concert? I believe it could have been before. Okay. Well, when you met with the government, didn't you tell them that as of April 15th, around the time of this concert, that you had taken a break from music? As in a break? Don't look at them, please. I'm not. Answer my question. No. Did you tell the government during your meetings with them that around April, the time of the concert, that you had taken a break from music? By break, I had been transitioning, yes. And when you say transitioning, what do you mean? Meaning that prior to April, I had been doing shows, making income from doing cover songs, and I was transitioning to releasing my own music. So I was taking a break. So that's what you call taking a break? Yes. Your Honor, may we approach? Yes. With the court reporter? Yes, Your Honor. So just before we begin, please don't give instructions to the witness. I'll take care of that if you need it. Okay. What is it you want, Your Honor? In her 302, she clearly stated that she was taking a break from music at around the time that she had met Mr. Kelly, right? She was no longer interested in music because of the pressure that her parents had put upon her. And she was clearly lying about it now. And she's clearly lying about it now. And when I don't want, you haven't shown her the statement. I'm going to show it to her. Okay, I'm going to show it to her. I thought you forgot. No, I just have someone who is retrieving it for me. But I think this is opening the door to get in the fact that while she's taking a break, I don't want to get into it. But she just has to own up to it. First of all, you were kind of opening the door, not her. But I think it's okay to ask her if her parents were pressuring her. That's fine. Okay. We're just not going to go down the road into when you were 6. I don't want to do that. Okay. And all those things. So it's fine. We're talking about the time around when it started. That's fine. Okay. And obviously, just general rule. We are not having, and I'm not suggesting you do this, but I did preclude inquiry into a number of areas. which I'm sure you remember. But anything around the area, you can show her. Okay. I don't need to tell you how to do that. Sorry. Whenever you're ready, Mr. Canning. Okay, thank you. Now, your parents proposed a number of business deals with Mr. Kelly. Am I correct? Yes, they did. And one of the business deals that they proposed to Mr. Kelly was to endorse a Bluetooth dildo. Am I correct? That is correct, yes. And in fact, they made a number of efforts to try to get to him to do this. Am I correct? Yes. And the feature of this dildo was in use. It would sing Mr. Kelly's music, correct? Yes. And it was your mother who was pretty much promoting this. Am I correct? I don't remember which one of them it was. And Mr. Kelly refused. Am I correct? No, he actually told them to give him a proper proposal. Did they give him a proper proposal? I don't know. At your graduation, didn't your mother approach Mr. Kelly again about endorsing his Bluetooth dildo, and he refused? No, not at the graduation. That's when he told them to send the proper proposal. And it's in your testimony here today under oath that he never rejected this proposal? Objection, overruled. Do you recall whether he rejected the proposal? In their face, no. Do you recall him ever rejecting the proposal? He did confide in me later, yes. What was that? He just said that it was not something that he could ever do. Not something he could ever do, right? Correct. Objection, overruled. That's what he said. Uh-huh. All right, next question. They also tried to get him to fund a food truck. Am I correct? I believe so, yes. And he declined that one as well. Am I correct? Yes. And your father tried to get him to let him operate Mr. Kelly's lighting show for his concerts. Am I correct? Yes, he did. And Mr. Kelly declined that. Am I correct? Yes, he did. Then your mother tried to get a job working for Mr. Kelly. Am I correct? I actually told her to do that. Okay, but the answer to my question would be yes. I asked her to do that, yes. I didn't ask, let me, Judge, saying let me. Just do your best to just answer the question that Mr. Canick is asking you. Okay, judge, okay? Witness, okay. Put the question again, Mr. Canick. Yes. Oh, the answer is yes. Okay. I think I was asking to repeat. Prosecutor, asking to repeat the question. Mr. Kennedy, could you read it back for me? Yes, the judge, yes. And I would just appreciate it if everyone would let me do my part of the job. I think I got it, okay? All right, if you can read it back, that would be fine. I would have to say that wasn't true. Question read. Well, your mother didn't try to get a job with Mr. Kelly as an assistant. I told her to do that. Your mother didn't try to get a job with Mr. Kelly as an assistant. Herself, no. I told her to do that. Judge, but then did she do it? Witness, yes, she did. Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Canning. Your mother didn't try to get a job with Mr. Kelly as his driver. Yes, she did. Did she get the job? No, she did not. Why are these people trying to get a job as a driver, as an assistant, as a lighting director, and then turn around and be banging on this man's door talking about, give us our child, and do this whole surviving R. Kelly shit? You say you do it, he don't want to do no business with y'all. Is this why y'all did all this shit, man? Your daughter got to the building and she got in the building and she left y'all niggas outside. Y'all went to the club together. She got in VIP. Y'all was walking in behind him. The dude took the velvet rope, clipped it back on, and said, yo, y'all wait right here. She got in the fucking party and she forgot about y'all. That's the bottom line. Now, at some point, your mother told you to take pictures and information regarding Mr. Kelly so it could be used. Those items could be used for potential blackmail. Am I correct? No, I'm not correct. That is not true. And that is your testimony under oath here. Yes. Pause. Just tell the government what you are referring to if you don't mind, Mr. Cannon. Thank you. Mr. Cannon continues. Now, isn't it a fact? Isn't it a fact that you told the government in a meeting on January 9th, 2020, that before you met Mr. Kelly, you were taking a break from music and enjoying life? Yes, I was transitioning. Yes. Now, you testified and told us yesterday that there was a meeting that you had with Mr. Kelly at the Dolphin Hotel. Yes. And you testified and told us that the manner that you were dressed when you went to that meeting, am I correct? Pardon me? You testified and told us yesterday about the attire that you wore at that meeting. Am I correct? Yes. And there was a photographs of you and evidence that you identify as the outfit that you wore on that day. Am I correct? Yes. Now, when you met with the agent in this interview that you had with him, you told him that you were dressed in baggy clothes. Am I correct? Judge, what kind of clothes? Mr. Cannon, baggy. Judge, okay. To me, him, isn't it a fact when you met with the agents, when I say the agents, the government, okay, isn't it a fact that you told them when you met with Mr. Kelly on the date that you went to the Dolphin Hotel that you were dressed in sweat clothes? No. And you are absolute about that as anything else you've testified to. Yes. Oh, objection. Overruled, Mr. Cannon. Isn't it a fact that you told the government in your meeting with them that you had just gotten out of a weightlifting class and you were sweating? No, I told that to the defendant. Okay. Now, when you had the meeting with the government, you were advised by the agents that they were government officials. Am I correct? Yes, I was. Level up. Good looking. Thanks for the donation. Now, when you had the meetings with the government, were you advised by the agents that they were government officials? Am I correct? Yes, I was. And they advised you that making a false statement to a government official is a crime. And am I correct? Yes, they did. And then they told you the consequences of making that statement, making a false statement. No. But you know that is a crime, correct? I do, yes. All right. Too many pieces of paper. Your Honor, may I just have a moment to retrieve it? Yes. Now, I asked you earlier about your mother seeking employment with Mr. Kelly, and you told me that it was just suggested. Do you remember telling me that? Yes, it was. Now, when you met with the government, did you tell them that your mother suggested that she could be employed by Mr. Kelly? I don't remember. I'm going to show you this document and see if it refreshes your recollection. May I approach, Your Honor? Yes. Just direct your attention to the upper portion. Okay, which part? Let me have that. Sorry, the front or the back? This top paragraph. Yes. Have you read the document? Yes, I did. Did that refresh your recollection that it was your mother who suggested that she get a job with Mr. Kelly? They could have did that inaccurately. I didn't ask you that, whether or not what they could have done. Yeah. What I'm asking you is, did the document refresh your recollection that it was your mother who asked, who suggested she get a job? No, I still suggested those jobs to my mother. So after reading that, yes, it doesn't refresh your recollection. No. But you read the document and you saw it there. Am I correct? Yes. Pause. Yana, I'm going to move on to another area. Okay. They should have locked her up with perjury right there. I'm done with the 302s. Now, you testified that it came a point in time that you were at the Dolphin Hotel and that according to you, my client, Mr. Kelly, asked you to perform certain sexual functions, behavior on you. Yes, he did. Okay. And you testified that it came a point in time that he actually did and the police came. Am I correct? Yes, that's true. And when the police came, were you still in his room? Am I correct? I was in the restroom. But when the police were there, were you in the room? Am I correct? Yes, I was. And you spoke to them, correct? Yes, I did. They asked you your age. They did. Yes. You told them you was 18? I did. Yes. They asked you for identification. I did. Yes. You gave them identification. Am I correct? Yes, I did. They studied the identification. Is that a yes? Yes. Sorry. Yes. And after they finished studying the identification, they had you call your parents. Am I correct? Yes, I did. And you put the phone on speaker. Yes, I did. And you spoke to your parents. Am I correct? Yes, I did. I did, yes. Now, and your parents spoke to you in the presence of officers. Yes. And they never asked you to come downstairs. Am I correct? No, they did not. You didn't tell Mr. Kelly that? Well, you know what? Enough of this. I'm going with the officers. No, I did not. You didn't tell Mr. Kelly that, well, you know what? Enough of this. I'm going with the officers. No, I did not. You didn't tell the officers that Mr. Kelly violated you. Am I correct? I had not. No. In fact, according to you, you stayed in the room and continued the sexual encounter with Mr. Kelly. Am I correct? I did, yes. And according to you, you stayed in the room, continued the sexual encounter after the officers had left. Am I correct? Yes, I did. And then according to you, you didn't want this to happen. Am I correct? I did not want this to happen. No. And you felt violated. Am I correct? I did, yes. And in fact, you were outraged. Am I correct? Yes, I was. But according to you, he came back into town and got back and you got back with him within a couple of days. Am I correct? No, he had flown me out to the city he was in. Well, isn't it your testimony that he stayed in town while he was in town and he got back together sexually? No, I think you misunderstood me. Don't tell me what I'm misunderstanding. Objection. Okay. Mr. Kennedy. It's either yes or no, Your Honor. I haven't said a word. Okay. I'm sorry. Didn't you testify yesterday that he was in Orlando for a few other days and you and he got back together a couple of more times? No, that's not what I said yesterday. Okay. And so after you felt so violated and outraged, you flew out to meet him under the impression he would teach me techniques. So a man violates you and you go meet up with him again to learn some techniques. A man violates you and you fly to another city where nobody can help you. And you go fly to him again? Under the pressure that he would teach me techniques. No. Just answer the question. Okay. You don't have to explain. If there's something that needs explaining, the government can ask you on the redirect. Okay. So, what is the answer to Mr. Canick's question? Okay, can you re-ask it? After being violated, outraged, and devastated, you flew out to meet him? Am I correct? I did, yes. And how shortly after was it you were violated, outraged, and devastated that you went out to meet him? How soon? Yes. Probably most likely the next weekend. Did your parents go with you? They did not. They meet R. Kelly at a concert. Allegedly called the police on him. He ran out the back door. And you send your daughter to fly to go see this nigga by himself the next week. Y'all know this man 7 days. And you let your daughter go fly out there by her fucking self? What's up with y'all parents, man? And then you turn around, you in front of this man door and all this other shit, and the studio acting like you want your kid back. This shit was a money grab, B. This shit was a money grab, man. Honorable Judge Ann M. Donnelly, you don't see this, sister? They let this girl go fly to Chicago by herself, yo. I'm embarrassed as a black man. I'm embarrassed. After being violated, outraged, and devastated, you flew out to meet him. Am I correct? I did, yes. How shortly after was it you were violated, outraged, and devastated that you went out to meet him? How soon? Yes. Probably the most likely the next weekend. Did your parents go with you? They did not. Do you have an older brother? I do, yes. Did he go with you? He did not. Did you have a chaperone go with you? No, I had no chaperone. Do you have an older sister? I do, yes. Did the older sister go out with you? She did not. You went out by yourself, am I correct? I did, yes. Did you tell your parents about the violation Mr. Kelly supposedly committed upon you before going out to meet up with him? Objection, overruled. Absolutely not. You didn't tell anybody. No one. Now, when you went out the first time, where did you go? I believe we were on the West Coast in LA. Oh my God, they sent this baby to LA. She didn't even go to Chicago. The home of the Wolves? LA? This is, yo, man. And you took time off from school? I tried to go on the weekend. My question is, did you take time away from school on this trip? I believe it was the weekend. Didn't you testify yesterday that the trip occurred on the 21st? Well, you tell me, what was the date of the trip? I don't actually remember the date for the meeting. I would need the evidence. And where were you at on that trip? California. And you testified and told us that you were flown out there by Mr. Kelly, his assistant. Yes or no, ma'am? Yes. Okay, and you were shown a ticket yesterday for the trip. Yes. Where specifically did you fly? To California. Does April 28th sound familiar of 2015? That does sound familiar, yes. Do you remember what day of the week April 15th was in 2015? Objection. April 28th was in 2015. You're not objection to that, are you? No. Okay. I don't know. Your Honor, may I approach? Yes. I'll ask you to look at this and see if it refreshes your recollection. That's the calendar, right? Yes. The calendar is for April 2015. Am I correct? Yes. What date is April 28th? It is on a Tuesday. That was a school day, was it not? Yes, it was. Do you have school on the following day? I did, yes. Do you have school the following day? I did, yes. So the answer to my question earlier about whether or not you took time away from school to go, the answer would be yes. Am I correct? Yes, that is true. And you went with their parents' permission. Am I correct? Yes, I did. How is they not locked up? This whole time, R. Kelly thinking this girl's 18. Fake ID. She showed the police her ID, called the phone. They had to verify she was 18 when the cop was there. She stayed in the hotel room and continued to have sex with him. And this whole time, this nigga thinking she 18. That's called entrapment. Her ass should be locked up. Somebody. How long did you stay on that trip? I don't remember, but it was definitely days. Didn't you testify yesterday that you got stuck out there? Yes. And when you say stuck, what do you mean? Meaning that, like, if it was in the middle of the school week, I wouldn't be returning it to Sunday or Monday. Well, didn't you go to another concert on May 1st? Yes, I did. Where was that concert? I don't recall. And that concert was on the West Coast, was it not? I don't recall. I'm sorry. Does Stockton, California sound correct? Oh, yes, it does. And you didn't fly home in between going to the West Coast on the 28th of April and May 1st, did you? I don't know. May 1st was a weekend. Am I correct? Let me show you this and see if this refreshes your recollection. Thank you. Yes, May 1st is a Friday. So you didn't fly back home after flying out on April 28th. Am I correct? No, I'm not correct. Oh, no, you are correct. Sorry. And you said you went to Stockton, California. Yes. And that was for a show. Am I correct? Yes. And you stayed at that show. What was the next show that you went to? After California, I believe it was Las Vegas. And you didn't go back to the East Coast, back to Orlando. Am I correct? I don't know. You don't know whether or not you went back to your home between then. What was the show, the day of the show in Las Vegas? I don't recall. That's what I'm saying. I don't recall the day of the show in Vegas. Now I'm going to show you this document and see if it refreshes your recollection as the date of the concert in Las Vegas. May 3rd. May 3rd was the date? Yes, 2015. And you didn't fly back from Stockton to Orlando in between May 3rd and May 1st date, did you? I don't think so. And what day of the week was May 3rd? I don't know. I'm sorry. Y'all know. We'll stipulate that it was Sunday. Okay, thank you. And the next concert that you attended with Mr. Kelly was where? I don't know. Now, when was it that you actually left school to just continue to fly around and go to these shows? It was about the ending of May. Ending of May. Yes. And before you left school to just fly around consistently, how many shows have you attended before doing it pretty much on a regular basis? I guess whatever tours, shows he had did between April to May. And it didn't matter if it was a school day or not. Am I correct? It did matter, yes, actually. How so? I would have to make up a lot of work when I go back to school. Like I would have to stay after school and make up work. So you would make up attendance, right? No. Either you there or not there. Yes. Now, and these shows that you were going around the country, Mr. Kelly and his ensemble, your parents were with you. Am I correct? No, they did not. No siblings. Am I correct? No. No chaperone. Am I correct? No. And the meeting that you had with Mr. Kelly at the Dolphin Hotel, that was an audition. Am I correct? Yes, it was. Your parents didn't go with you to that audition. Am I correct? No, they didn't. You went there in skinny jeans, you said. Yes, sir. Some type of crop top? A crop top. Crop top. The top was mesh, yes. Mesh. You went there, according to you, to audition to see how he would evaluate your singing. Am I correct? Yes, sir. And that was important to you. Am I correct? Very important. And that was important to your mother. Am I correct? Yes. And you testified and told us that there came a point in time during your meeting, your initial meeting with Mr. Kelly in the Sprinter van, that he asked you for a kiss. Yes, he did. Now, when he asked you for a kiss at that point in time, this is before you went upstairs. Am I correct? Correct. And you got out of the van. Am I correct? Yes, we did. And how did you get to the Dolphin Hotel? I had a car that my parents had given me. And when you got out of the van, you didn't go to your car, turn it on and say, I'm getting the hell out of here? Correct? No, they made me park my car. They didn't withhold your car. You could have had your car again. Am I correct? They had the ticket. Right. But you can easily go and give them the ticket to get your car. I'm saying his entourage had the ticket. All right. And you're testifying telling us that because his entourage had the ticket, you couldn't get your car. Yeah. No. It was a thing that went up that you need to scan the ticket to get your car out of the parking. And so because of that, you had to go upstairs. No, I didn't have to go upstairs because of that. Oh, okay. You could have gotten home. Am I correct? Yes. Now you testified and told us that after you got upstairs, Mr. Kelly asked you to relieve him. Am I correct? He did, yes. And he said that he needed to be relieved before he could listen to your audition. Am I correct? That is true. And isn't it a fact when you met with the government, you told them that, well, in one of the interviews, you told them that Mr. Kelly basically was masturbating while you sang. While what? While you were singing. No, that's not. I don't think you understood what I said accurately. No, my question, it was nothing you told me, ma'am. Okay. My question is it the fact that when you met with the government, you told them that Mr. Kelly was masturbating while you sang? I never said that. No, you never said that, right? No, not that I recall. You never said it. I don't recall saying that. Now, when you were meeting with the government, there was someone in the room taking notes. Am I correct? I believe so, yes. There was more than one person in the room. Am I correct? Yes. And they were taking notes. Multiple people were taking notes of what you were saying. Am I correct? Yes. You saw them actually writing down as you were speaking. Am I correct? Yes. Now, and you told us that Mr. Kelly made these, what? Aren't you? I don't know. Of you, and you rejected them. Am I correct? I did, yes. And there came a point in time that he told you that he would take care of you for the rest of your life if you allow him to have sexual pleasures with you. Am I correct? He did, yes. And you never went home and told your parents any of this. Am I correct? Never. And when your parents called up the room, well, when you called your parents from the room, you had them on speaker. You didn't tell them anything about this at all. Am I correct? Of course not. And you testified that he videoed iPads out during this encounter. Yes. Okay. And they were on? Yes. And he was recording what was going on. Am I correct? No, not at that point. He was watching something and I couldn't see what it was. I just saw him pull out an iPad. You just saw him pull out an iPad, yes. And you told the government that during those meetings, I believe so, and your single is called Liar Liar. Am I correct? Yeah, this fucking this lawyer is funny as hell. And your single is called Liar Liar. Am I correct? Objection. Overruled. Yes. You testified earlier about the fact that there were a number of women living with Mr. Kelly. Yes. And I think you testified that there came a point in time that some had left. Yes. Now, a number of them lived there off and on. Am I correct? No. I'm not correct. You're not correct. Didn't Juice live there off and on? No. Juice was with him 20, like almost every hour of the day. Juice didn't have a job? No. Juice did not. Juice had a car, right? No, Juice did not. And Juice, when it was that she left, according to you, and Juice, when was it that she left, according to you? I don't remember, like when she left. I just remember the order of which the girls left. So I don't know if that's helpful. And what, may I speak to the government? Sure. I'm showing you what's been admitted into evidence as government exhibit 76. Did that person live in the house? I don't know. Do you know who that person is? I do, yes. Did you see this person in the house? Yes, I would. Just to be clear, we are talking about the house in Atlanta. Either house. Oh, okay. In Atlanta, either house. Did you see that person? And this is my fault. I'm confused about where the houses are. Atlanta and Chicago, correct? Mr. Cannon, yes. Okay, so yes, I did. Now I'm confused. You asked, did I see her at the house? Yes, I did, in Chicago and both Atlanta. And was she living at the house in Chicago? I don't know. Was she living at the house in Atlanta? I don't know. When you saw her at the house in Atlanta, was it for one day? Usually it was at his discretion. Don't tell me about, I will only see her when he would want me to. When he would want you to. Did you have dinners withdrawn? The women who lived with Mr. Kelly, would you all eat together from time to time? Am I correct? Yes. Would you go to the movies together? Am I correct? Seldom, yes. Did you go bowling together? I don't recall going bowling. Did you go to picnics together? We would go to parks. Would you play volleyball together? I don't recall that. Would you have dinner together? Yes. And that would be at all of the houses. Am I correct? Yes. And I thought they didn't eat, man. And basically, you function as a family. Am I correct? I wouldn't call it a family, no. You wouldn't call it a family now, but back then, you operated as a family, correct? Controlled, yes. Ma'am, you were there. Am I correct? I was. You stayed there. Am I correct? I did, yes. You ate with them. Am I correct? Yes. You went to the movies with them. Am I correct? Yes. Now you testified yesterday about my client not celebrating Christmas. Do you remember telling us about that? All holidays. All holidays. Do you remember Mr. Kelly taking withdrawing? Do you recall Mr. Kelly renting a house in California for a Christmas holiday? Yes, I do. Do you recall Mr. Kelly taking videos of all of you during Christmas holiday? I do. Do you recall Mr. Kelly giving you gifts on Christmas? I do, yes. Do you recall Mr. Kelly specifically giving each of you a minimum of $10,000 to go buy gifts for each other? I do. So he's not, wait, he doesn't celebrate Christmas? No holidays? In fact, no, what I said was they were delayed. My question is, you testified and told us earlier that he didn't celebrate holidays. And my question to you is, that's not true. I said the holidays were delayed and that if he's not celebrating, I could have went home to my family. You wanted to get that out, right? Objection. Sustained. Is this a good time to break? A very good time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a break. Just before we do, I told you that I would, and I'm not taking credit for this schedule. Ms. Green did this, but I just wanted to go over the days that anyway I'll stop. Page I'm on. I'm going to stop here with this. We're going to take a recess. We're going to come back tomorrow with the rest of her testimony. This is bugged out to me, yo. I don't know how to feel. But, yo, what's today? Wednesday? Yo, we going to have a rally in Atlanta. Just a little get together for R. Kelly on Sunday. We going trick-or-treating at R. Kelly's old house and our old neighborhood in Duluth. So if you're in Atlanta and you know the usual suspects, all of the Free Kelly crew that's out here in Atlanta, bring your kids. We going trick-or-treating in R. Kelly's old neighborhood in Duluth. Bring the kids. We going trick-or-treating. If you want, you could dress up as R. Kelly. You could dress up as a video vixen for one of his videos. But I got to find out what R. Kelly I'm gonna be in what video. But you know I got to come looking fly. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna all go out there. If you with the program, the Free Kel movement, we going out there to please overturn the lies, and we gonna take our kids out there in Duluth. We're gonna take all the little ones. I'm gonna have a bunch of little ones with me. I'm going to grab a couple of my friends' kids, and we're gonna go trick-or-treating, and we're gonna create awareness. We're not gonna disrupt nothing. We're gonna come with nice, peaceful signs. Y'all can make y'all Free Kel shirts, Free Kel signs. If you want to make some signs, please overturn the lies or whatever hashtags y'all got. And then for my people in Chicago, Princess, good looking. Thanks for the donation. For my people in Chicago, the Chicago ones, we would like for y'all to go meet up in front of the truck for Halloween. You know what I'm saying? Wear your outfits, whatever. If y'all in Chicago don't want to do it, don't worry. We coming out there to Chicago too on a later date. Where I'm coming to Chicago. I'm hollering at my man KK and everybody. We coming out to Chicago and we're going to go over to the Trump and we're going to get together there too. You know they got Surviving R. Kelly 2 getting ready to drop in January. So we're going to have Surviving the Lies. And we're going to create a nice awareness and show them all the lies before they come out with their Surviving R. Kelly 2. And we will be at the premiere with no bomb threats. We ain't doing that. But we coming to walk the red carpet, baby. We coming to walk the red carpet. I'm going to grab Andrea Kelly. Like, come on. You going with me. You going to tell the truth in these motherfuckers. Word up. So, Halloween, y'all. We trick-or-treating 3:00 p.m. at Kel's old house. Be there, y'all. With the best outfit. With the best R. Kelly outfit. A lot of us talked about it behind the scenes. So if you know the major players in this, or the major supporters, you ain't even got to reach out to nobody. Just show up. And we going to see who's really Team Free Kels, because a lot of the Team Free Kels is in Atlanta. So we going to see who going to come. we going to see who come from North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, the surrounding areas. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we're going to trick or treat with the kids from like 3 to 6. And then we're going to have a nice little press conference afterwards. And we will all be live. We all going to be live. Oh, don't worry. We coming to Cali. But if y'all want to put your own joints together in your own city, just let us know and send us the link. When we go live, we're going to post everybody lives on one channel at one time. And we're going to show how much support we got out here. So Halloween, it ain't hard for y'all to find the address. All you got to do is ask around. 3 o'clock, we're going to be out there trick-or-treating with the kids. Bring your kids, y'all. Bring your kids and come in peace. Joke, no joke. Y'all already know. Bring your kids, man. We're going trick-or-treating. Shout out to everybody up there. Put your shout outs up. Put them on the screen. Put your shout outs up. Put them on the screen.
Choke, no joke, you know what it is. Let's go, let's go. I inspire y'all to all want more. Don't listen to these fakes and these frauds. They don't own cars with Lamborghini doors. When high show cut, it's back to the store. I was born in the Jackson, this shit was hell. The place where I saw soldiers fall. Some simply for nothing at all. Some cause they lived on the other side of the wall. Now this might sound crazy, love what the hood made me. Poverty made me far from lazy. This ain't the place you wanna raise your babies. Young girls out here thinking they lazy. Nose powdered white, they brain all hazy. Ask them what they wanna be, they look at you crazy. These young cats out here looking all angry. I was just like them, sometimes the music made me act other than myself, no influence lately. Cause behind the scenes, they not living drugs, they really not thugs. If they was, where are the slugs? Do you see them when you cop your drugs? Pulling up with S2B in the front? Nah, it's not what they got, it's what they want. In the jungle, we all on the hunt. It's chemical.